Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Real Debaters podcast. I am Michael Petrow. Hello, listener. This week on the show, you're getting me, Charles, and Ian. We're sitting down for a real talk. We're having a conversation on stunts and actors who do their own versus who don't. And then we break into Black Mirror. Black Mirror's coming out in June, kids. So if this is a show that you love and you appreciate dystopian futures and technology that's going to ruin us, this episode is for you. We're talking about our favorite episodes. We're talking about things we hope to see. We even talk about what technology from the show we think maybe could do some good in everyday life. And one big, long-ass review, spoilers included, of Guardians of the Galaxy. We all caught it opening weekend. So if you haven't seen it, this is going to spoil it for you. So skip to the second half of the show right at the hour point. And it'll take you right into the real talk of the episode. So that's who's on the show. That's what's on the show. Updates, events, housekeeping. Go hit the link in our bio. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. On Instagram and Twitter, it's at Real Debaters Pod. And on Facebook, it's the Real Debaters Podcast. And on YouTube, our YouTube Shorts channel, which are just selected clips from the show, at RD Podcast Shorts on YouTube, at Real Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and the Real Debaters Facebook. Any one of those has a link in the bio that opens you up to the Debaterverse, which is all of the side projects that we do here, the show, what we're doing, when we're doing it, why we're doing it, how much it costs to do it. So if you want to hang out with us this summer at some of the events, because we just booked a really great one today, you got to stay tuned. So you got to follow us on social media, and then you also got to subscribe to the show. That you should do first, because you'll just hear it every week, and then you'll listen to the things we talk about. And if you're a cinephile like we are, and you love to dig deep and go down rabbit holes and chew the fat and go long, then stick around, subscribe, hit that follow, like, whatever button that enables us to be in your podcast player each week, and then we'll do that. And so all the things that you want to know for the Debaterverse, it's the link in our bio at one of our social media pages, and then just subscribe. That's all you gotta do. Just subscribe. I'm going to shut up. That's it. That's all I got for this week, kids. So I'll cue that reel, and you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the chart.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Debaters Podcast. I am Michael Petrow. Hello, listener.
I'm Ian Bawa.
I am Charles Fernandes.
Welcome back. You're in for a treat this week. We've got Ian back after a hot minute of busy fucking around with his dog Diamond, filming true crime. Good to have you back, sir.
True crime television.
True Crime with Ian Bawa. Follow that on TikTok, guys. It's a fun day behind the filming of True Crime. Ian's back. Charles is here for Real Talk. It's been a hot. I think it's been, like you guys were saying before we started, it's been a while since we've all just.
I feel like it's been maybe a month.
We're debating and we're chewing the fat and picking Oscars, and now.
Oh yeah, that was the last one. Oscars.
Yeah,
I guess it's been a bit
Fun.
And
I listened to that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, we did a twofer. It was good. It was just me and Michael.
Yeah, I do like the twofers are fun.
Yeah, it was
Well,
good.
especially
You're
with
due
Oscars.
for a twofer.
Yeah, I'm down for. I'm
Due
always
for a
down-
twofer.
Yeah,
I'm always down for a twofer. Fuck.
Like,
yeah, buddy.
That's when you take a shit and then you guys meet up.
Yeah,
I
you both shit
I
first.
just took an upper decker. What is that? It's a number two.
Number two.
At your house? You never upper deck at home.
No.
You upper deck everywhere else.
Yeah, everywhere else.
Everywhere else. Listener, Real Talk this week. No debate for you. We are all fresh off of Guardians of the Galaxy. It rarely happens where like we all lead busy lives. We all have different schedules, right? So like when we all get to like see a movie and then talk about it in the same week.
Opening week, especially.
Opening nonetheless.
It was a
right?
fun homework assignment.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I didn't have a problem.
It was great.
I had a
understanding the
feeling we were
assignments.
all going to do it this weekend, and I was like, I feel like if I pitch this, everyone's going to be on it. So
Yeah, on it like a fucking flying shit.
It's funny though. Like I've been so out of the loop. I was like, isn't it coming out like next year? They're
Yeah,
like, no.
yeah.
And then when
Next
you posted it, I
weekend.
was like, I have nothing to do now. Yeah, let's do this. Like, yeah.
So we're gonna give you our take on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We have a conversation on stunts, our favorites. Should some of these aging actors who do their own stunts stop because they're probably gonna die on screen? And then we're gonna talk about Black Mirror because new Black Mirror is coming out in June.
Woo!
And,
June already. Ooh.
Right? It's right around the corner.
Let's go.
We're going to talk about
it's
what
exciting.
once was a dystopian future is now just a year away.
Yeah.
right? Or happening, depending on
Yeah.
what piece of fucking tech you own, right?
Yeah.
So let's just step off this mortal fucking coil and get into it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Who wants to go first?
I feel like we need a music drop or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know?
I'll insert right here the Guardians intro so we can have
Okay,
our own
okay.
hero. It'll be the hero walk music right here.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Or I could just go bum ba-na-na,
Ba-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na. This is not in tune
Yeah.
at all.
Hey!
Okay, I'll start it off. I have realized something magical about James Gunn, and James Gunn knows exactly how to pace and not come in too hot and not blow you up with his dark sense of humor too fast. And I think that was one of my favorite things about last night, because it was a slow burn. It was this opening on Rocket. We all knew we were going to get a Rocket backstory.
We did.
I honestly did not
You
think
really?
they were going to jump into
The
it.
posters.
Though,
I
like,
know, so fast.
But like literally,
Yeah.
like Warlock Bam.
I know.
Like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so the opening on that was so magical, because I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to, and the beauty of tying that back and forth, we've got current day, then we've got Rocket, and Rocket's experiencing some sort of fucked up.
Wow.
It all meshed so well
Especially
together.
they built it so well from the first movie.
Yeah.
When he gets drunk and he's like, "You've never been experimented on."
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
And
you're
he
like,
takes his shirt off, and you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
I'm not
metal,
a fucking rodent.
and he doesn't. Yeah.
It's just
Oh.
like it's funny they picked him because they all have backstories that we don't know. Like they all have traumatic backstories.
Yeah.
But specifically him, like, obviously he's a favorite character. It's so good. Like, I don't know, there was something about that story that really
Chef's fucking kiss.
I cried
Oh man.
at least I think 3 times throughout it.
Anytime it went to him and his crew,
know.
I was just, me and Claudia would be holding her hands so tight that it was like, because like, ugh.
And
Oh,
it was
man.
such a these 3 rodent friends that he had coming up
Yeah.
in the world of the high evolutionary. Like when he, it's the first time he's ever felt kinship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's the fucking freak, right?
Yeah.
He's the raccoon who so good when they ended it with.
I was gonna say-
when they that cage door opens. And you find out that it's
Yeah.
like it's his Greek name, and then it pans right to I'm like, yes, I knew it was a fucking raccoon.
I get it. Everyone really loves that I am Iron Man, and it was a very good mic drop, but I truly think Rocket got the best, like, saying his own name kind
Yeah,
of in the
yeah, yeah.
moment when he says, I'm Rocket Raccoon, and it's the first time he says it. I couldn't help but just like, oh man, it took everything in me now to be like, ah!
There's also like
It was so awesome.
that
It
bad
was
guy
great.
was
yeah.
truly like not redeemable in any
No.
way. Like he is one of the
That's why I love the gun was like, we're going to show you how actually evil he is.
Yeah.
And you when that last shot,
Yeah.
and he's still talking to them.
I
you're like,
know. I love that.
yeah,
I thought that was
that's
like,
real ugly. Like,
I'm
that's
so
real
glad.
villain.
Yep.
I leaned over to Mark and was like, Mark, who's a high evolutionary? I don't know anything.
Yeah,
about
I didn't
this
know
guy.
anything
Yeah,
about
I
this
don't
guy
know that
either.
world either.
And
Yeah.
he's like, do you know when people when the Nazis and Goebbels crossbred shit and did weird science
Yeah, they
experiments?
tried to make the super, like their version of the super soldier.
I was like, yeah. He's like, that guy. I'm like,
Oh.
man. So that really put it in a frame of reference. But when he when he befriends Rocket,
Right.
And
Oh, I know.
and then when Rocket has his giant fucking IQ moments,
yeah,
and then
smartest one in the room.
smartest one in the room, and yet I made you. Why am I
Yeah.
not smarter?
Yep.
That the breakdown when Rocket realizes that he's nothing but a science experiment and another number,
I know.
and he's like, "You're not going down to the planet. You're not
Yeah.
part of the perfect species." My
Yeah.
heart just dropped.
Because the way he does it too, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's all in dialogue.
That actor is phenomenal, by the way. Like,
Very-
he's
I
bigger,
love-
he was
What's his
great.
name? I'm going to butcher it.
I
Does
don't
anybody-
know.
I can't
but
say it.
So, it
well.
was just like
I
so
apologize.
Shakespearean. It was
Yeah.
just like so well done.
He
And-
did
the
it
way-
Shakespeare.
yeah.
He was truly like, it killed me. It kills me in a way that I'm like, that's it. Like that's a final act for
For him.
his villain. Unfortunately, I did hope there was a little bit of me at the end when they ripped his face, where I was like, Red Skull's back. Like, why not?
see it.
Yeah, I
like,
can
why
see
not?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Why
right?
not?
But
Red,
it's
been
Red
Red
Skull
Skull
in
Oh,
space.
I
Yeah.
also have to say, because this just popped in my head, and I was like the only one in the theater that really lost my mind. But from the minute they showed the High Evolutionary, like in his final form,
Yep.
I literally looked at Claudia. I'm like, okay, I get it, but the RoboCop, come on. And then when he's like, "You RoboCop looking," I was like, "Yeah!" I was like, "There's no way that I could be the only."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
when it was
gonna
hanging
come
there,
off.
and then
So
it's
good.
like, "Broop."
I know that it's so good.
It's
He
great.
pulled his face off.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So Rocket's backstory, fan-fucking-tastic. And
amazing.
I also said the friends did they remind you of Toy Story? The
Yeah,
the freak toys
Like
from
the-
like,
like the-
yeah.
Sid's toys.
Sid's thank
Sid's
you,
fucking
yeah.
toys.
the big elephant seal
Yeah.
or walrus
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
remind me of
Oh,
Mr.
the
Potato
rabbit
Head.
with the wheels.
The rabbit
like,
with the wheels.
Oh yeah, was the head,
which
the
also
doll head with the.
Or it was like Bubbles, Bubbles, Bubbles and Nemo, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
just that,
I
the
don't know.
rabbit with the mask spider legs
Yeah.
was the scariest thing I've ever
it's
seen in
something
my life.
funny, like with Toy Story. I never really like. I guess those characters really didn't have a, like a soul where you
No.
really connected with them. These ones, I got so emotional even seeing them because I'm like, they were mistreated to this point, and they're so
Yeah.
happy still. And
Right.
I'm like, I don't
Especially
know.
like the rabbit.
You know, rabbit.
Yeah.
I was just breaking emotionally every fucking time, and it hurt so much.
it really,
It's tough.
It
Yeah.
really, and like when they're all lying there looking up at the sky,
Oh.
naming each other.
yeah,
I want to be
Floor.
called. What is it, Luna or
Or
Lila?
Lila.
Lila. And
You know
then,
who-
I want to be called Floor.
Yeah, I know. And the way she did it, they were
on
like,
the
"Hell yeah,
floor."
you are."
You are
Yeah.
Floor.
But she
Did
was
you-
just like,
you
"I'm
know-
on the floor." I
you know
guess.
who was the voice actor that is?
Who?
Yeah.
I forgot
You know
to
who-
look.
Linda Cardellini.
Linda Cardellini,
Yeah.
who's Hawkeye's wife.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Double
She's
dipping,
fantastic.
double
I-
dipping in the Marvel
Yeah.
universe.
Can
Who
I-
else did? Somebody else.
So
had
a couple of people.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh. No, not Michelle Yeoh.
Somebody, there's a few
there's a
that have
couple.
done
There's a-
that.
there
They've
is
done
a list.
voice,
There's
and
a
they do
list.
play.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
The other dude, the dumb dude, the dude with the curly hair that's really good looking, Pratt.
Oh,
Peter
Adam
Cullen's story.
Adam,
We'll get to Warlock.
Oh,
I'm not ready to talk about.
Wait.
I'm not ready to talk about Goldfinger yet. I have some issues about that face paint, but no, Peter's story, Peter Quill,
Yeah.
right?
Quill.
Not
Quillster.
Cullen. Peter
Yeah.
Quill.
I was
like
like,
Peter
I
Cullen.
honestly
Gary
had no.
Coleman?
I was like, the good-looking curly hair man. I was like, who are you talking about? Like, I honestly was confused for a
Gamora.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gamora. Yes,
Gamora,
no,
yeah.
the Peter and Gamora story. How?
Yeah.
That I'm not inhuman, but that's the first time where watching two humans or watching two raccoons be tortured, I felt so bad for Peter. Like he would get lost when the kneeling thing when he's like trying to break contact with her
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
get in her space so she realized, and he's just this lost puppy, and I'm like, can't you find a fucking commonality and just give him a fucking chance? Gamora?
I'm glad it didn't lean so heavily into that storyline. Like I
Yeah.
felt it was
It was
well
just
balanced.
And I'm glad they
Yes.
didn't end up
Yes.
together. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's not real.
It's
man.
so well balanced. Everyone
Yeah.
got
That's
a
true.
perfect sound
Yeah,
off.
it's not like she.
They
it
had
was-
their time.
And it was established.
Yeah.
Gamora is a good person, so we know in every timeline she does have that good quality. But I get it, man, and it must be so difficult, and I think that's what makes Star-Lord even more interesting, is he tasted a timeline where he got to be with his soulmate,
Right.
and in this other timeline, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
But
While at the
welcome
same
to
time,
life, my friend.
Yeah. Welcome to every hero.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Just be happy you had that timeline. Also, like
Hero's journey, bud.
she also came through.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the movie, you kind of hate Gamora. She sucks.
Right.
And she's a dick. But by the end of it, it's just nice to be able to be like, yay,
Well,
Gamora's good.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
her
Like,
mic drop of like, I bet we would have been fun.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
I thought
that
it was a nice
perfect.
moment.
He-
Yeah.
And he's like, we definitely were.
We were.
Yeah.
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 But the Nebula Peter stuff, brilliant.
Fuck.
Brilliant.
just
That was
saying.
so fun.
It's a nice shade of black.
Nebula has grown as a character. It's
Totally.
funny.
Totally. They
Like-
gave her so much depth.
Well, like that actress is. I think for one after
Karen
like,
Gillan?
yes,
Karen Gillan?
who's like in
Gillian?
I don't know.
Jumanji. Like she's
Juman-
in the-
yep.
Talk about
yeah.
Women Crush
I think
Wednesday.
Yeah.
she's awesome.
I think they just like
Shaving your head for the first round of the films.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
That was
Yeah.
commitment to the
Especially her,
character.
because like, someone who's like a model,
Yeah.
super, yeah.
Hot.
Sorry, but you
No,
were-
no. I think she like. I think they realized they had like someone very good after the Jumanji movies that they were
Yes.
like, let's keep using her.
Yes.
And the fact that she's like a major character in Endgame.
Yeah.
Is so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how she is in
Well,
the comics, but
her character has as much of an arc as Gamora's.
yeah,
Because they're
100%.
the sisters from the same. Yeah, the grunt thing was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I really liked their relationship. Actually, it was nice seeing, because that was one thing I told Claudia that was a nice trade off. Is in the other timeline we got to see her in love with Quill, but she never had a relationship with Nebula. It was nice to
Right.
see her have that sister relationship in this one, and they really
They
Yeah.
did
were
acknowledge
sisters.
it.
Yeah, they like were sisters
Yep.
more. Right? So that was kind of like Gunn's a very fucking smart writer. He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing, and I love
He
the
knows
Marvels.
these fucking characters.
Yeah,
Like,
and Marvel, and it's nice to see, especially at this point, and it might be because it's his farewell for a little bit. I don't think he's completely done with Marvel, but obviously for a bit he can't because he's with DC.
Yeah.
Contract.
But I
We'll
think
see.
it finally showed that Marvel was like, Gunn, whatever you want to do.
well,
whatever you wanna
I
do.
think he had a 3-point plan.
Yeah.
And I think Endgame might have fucked it up a little bit for
Yeah.
him. I think
Yeah.
I think he had to detour and
He
figure out how to get back.
you saw the interview. He said he didn't agree. He
Oh,
did
I didn't
not-
actually.
Yeah,
No,
he,
I just
At
kind
what-
of
he said
At
in
what
an
part?
interview he did not agree with
killing.
the decision to make Peter lose his cool and punch Thanos and essentially ruin
Oh
everything.
my god!
Gunn said he would never,
But that scene hits
ever done that.
so
It
much
is.
for
It
me.
is. And I look at it from the Russos, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
And every time I watch it, I
It's
do
so
feel that that's
frustrating,
what
yeah.
Star
But
Lord
you
would
can't-
do.
you-
Yeah.
you
But
also
that's
can't
someone
have
else writing your
Agreed,
character,
yeah.
so I get it.
Agreed.
I get it.
the loss of Gamora is compounded
Yeah.
by that hit. So that's Russo's showing you.
Yes. And
this
again,
now, guys, he's gonna go double time grieving.
and it's echoed again with Black Widow. We literally lose Black Widow the exact same way.
Right.
So that's also the Russos giving every time someone uses this stone, there's a sacrifice. So
something's got to give.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Jack
right.
Nicholson
So,
that shit.
but
His work in the monotony, the boring scenes of the movie, the couch sequence, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like, Drax, sit up. It
Yeah.
has multiple purposes.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh, I
and
love
like,
that.
you're ugly. And just like everything, like he really was like, this is my swan song. I'm going to make sure all these characters have a lot of screen time because that's what
Right.
the 2.5 hours is, right?
Well-
It's not so much the story, it's everybody getting some depth.
I-
And
Yeah.
I feel like he paired certain characters with each other very well, like Drax and what's the bug girl name?
Oh, Nebula.
Mantis.
Mantis.
Oh, Mantis. Yeah, yeah.
Like pairing them as
Yeah.
like
Well, in the
simple
Christmas
mind
special.
versus like they did
Yeah,
yes, for
right.
sure.
Like
When
that's
she
but yeah.
slides in and it's like the whole frog analogy metaphor sequence when
Right.
it gets out of hand and he's
Right.
like, you're like a leaf.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I blow on you or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
metaphor.
Yeah,
Analogy.
yeah. And he's so confident in
Yeah.
everything.
When
like-
it's like you think I'm stupid.
yeah,
You know?
that was great. That was
It's
so.
like, forget
He's
it.
like,
This is not building me up.
I think I'm finding this conversation a little offensive. Yeah, and he's still thinking about it because they're just still talking. So
Can
he's
I?
like,
James Gunn's brother, Sean
Yeah,
Gunn.
yeah.
Like that beginning scene with the arrow and it hitting
yeah,
Warlock in the side of the head. He's like,
Yeah.
"Who threw this at me?"
yeah.
I
Yeah.
could
Okay, I'm
not
ready
stop laughing.
That's
Like,
great.
that
I'm
was
ready to
fun.
talk about Warlock.
That was great.
Okay,
I just didn't want to start with
Who
him.
threw this at me? Say it now.
love
I
that
lo-
act.
I loved him.
Love the actor.
Will
Yeah.
Poulter?
Underused.
under.
Oh, Adam Warlock was a total gimmick.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
total.
It just sucks that they built it as the end credit in like part 2.
Yeah,
I
and
really
they
thought
were-
he was going to not be a gimmick. I thought he was.
I thought
gonna
he was
be,
gonna be like the big bad.
But
Yeah.
maybe that I think that was kind of Gunn's part of his little sprinkling the salt there is he's like, and he used Will, like when you see Will talking about in interviews, man, he loved the role. He really had
he's
fun
having
with
so
it.
much
I
fun.
think
You know?
it's cute when he has like the dog or whatever the little
Yeah,
alien.
yeah, and he wants
I love
and he
that-
insists in keeping
Yeah,
it.
and he has a
Yeah.
little. He becomes a guardian.
How
Like,
about
It's pretty badass. Like,
pretty
let's
badass.
be honest too, and like, what's neat about it too is like, it's one of those things where Marvel kind of does this with every movie, where they'll have this thing where you're like, what? That was kind of, what? And I think Gunn just was like, ours is going to be Warlock, but it's going to be a fun one, and it was because it was kind of like
the
seeing,
mama's boy?
and it was also seeing Superman be an idiot. Like, what if
Yeah.
Superman was an absolute moron?
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm here to save the day, but he doesn't know what he's doing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
And I treated it like that, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Right? And he's doing Superman, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I forgot that he was what's her face's son.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I saw him show up, and she's not really in the trailer,
Yeah.
Right.
I had words about. I was like, are we really doing 1970s gold paint? Like,
Oh, yeah.
And
but then when I realized that he's an offspring of that race, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm fine. I thought they just made a decision to do that
And
versus
Also,
a lineage.
he explains to you it's different atmospheres, so they're not in the second one, they're on their planet, so they're like
Exactly.
shining gold.
yeah, I
Here
liked-
she's like all haggard and run down, so it just looks like literally yellow fucking fucking pain.
Yeah.
But that's what their species does apparently. Like it's
They
reflective
lose
of
their
like,
hue.
Yeah, they lose. Yeah, and that's why when he came out, he was fresh. To
Give me a
death,
filter.
Right?
I'm losing shine
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, totally. But
No, he arrogant idiot.
Yep.
Total comic
moron.
funny gag.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I just got stabbed.
Yeah, like that.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Because he's a baby. He's literally
He's a
man-child.
man-child. Yeah, I
he's a
loved it,
literal man. And again,
Well,
it's like
they-
Superman. Like the first time Superman feels pain, he's like, "Ow!" Like it's a really over obnoxious. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, welcome to pain.
You know what? That makes sense though, because they took him out of the cocoon too early.
I love when she says that
Oh,
too,
right.
and I
So
burst
that's-
out laughing.
that
I'm
does
like,
make more
so he's
sense.
dumb.
Well, it's like leaving him on the tit too
Yeah,
long,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, like
That
He's
is
kind of a
funny.
moron.
I didn't really
Yeah.
realize that, but yeah, that,
It reminded
just
me
getting
of
it right now.
Yeah.
of Ninja Turtles 2, like with the
with the
the ooze when they put it in the thing, and he's like,
Ooze.
"Mama,
Yeah.
they are babies," and it's like, yeah, well, they are. Like just because you have a Superman, it has the mentality of a child,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's why I love, like you said, when he gets hit with the fucking arrow. Who threw this at me? Say it now. He's like so angry because it's such a little dumb
he's
thing.
having a fucking
yeah,
tantrum.
he's like, because he's like, how would even someone think this is okay? Right? Like,
How dare you?
yeah. Like
I-
it's great. Like,
I loved Cosmo.
oh, Cosmo stole the show.
Thought of you every time.
Oh,
I
Cosmo's
well,
great.
as soon I
Ugh.
forgot about the Christmas special and that he's
Yeah.
in, like
your
She-
dog pick for the dog debate.
She-
I
has
literally
grown
laughed.
in-
I literally looked at Claudia. I was like, "Damn it! If we did that debate now, Cosmo would have
I
killed
just
it."
need that costume so bad.
Oh, dude, I wish Cookie would even like humor a costume because that would be every goddamn.
I'm
year.
gonna find it. Like as soon as I was like,
And it's
okay, I gotta get that
Borat's
costume.
daughter.
That's what I told
Yeah.
Mara. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
this is
she's
Borat's
great.
daughter.
So
Yeah.
good. How dare you call me a
is-
bad dog?
Oh,
Like,
and every
You're
time,
a bad girl.
every time he
So
did
funny.
it. Every time Claudia'd be like, "No, you can't say it." Like every dog owner knows.
I
Like,
know, it
you
felt awful.
that pain, and I love even they're playing poker or whatever, and she's
Yeah.
like, Soviet Russia sent me up. Never once did they say bad dog, and the mission failed. Yeah, like the way she still won't let it go. It's like that's a real
Yeah.
dog though. Like, yeah.
it made me think of that Simpson episode where Homer's brother invents the talking baby
Oh,
machine.
yeah.
It made me think of that a
I
lot.
actually know that episode.
Yeah.
Dad, Dad.
I just love to like.
I thought of you when Cosmo got on
Oh
screen.
my god,
It's just
I think-
amazing.
yeah.
And she had a good role. Like she wasn't
did.
just like
No,
thrown
I-
in there,
yeah.
right?
She uses telefucking
Yeah,
I
and
know.
I love
One of
again
those things.
typical dog
Yeah.
when she's really like using it. She's like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's so
I
good.
cannot hold it.
She had a fucking save in the
Yeah.
end fight.
Yeah.
You're just,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay,
And
everybody's
she's a
alive.
guardian now.
I
right?
love it. This is the best
It's
part.
great, man. It's great.
It's like the team I want to be a part of now. Like I was
Yeah.
like, there's a dog on the team.
And like Gunn said, like he didn't have any other voices from Marvel or anything. He wrote the script and he made sure to have a last page where it's like, yeah, that's the new lineup, and they didn't
I
give
read
him
that.
any pushback.
I
Nothing.
read that.
They gave him no pushback.
So
It's a
yeah.
fun collective.
Absolutely. And again, it's always been.
let's hope they don't ruin it by doing a fourth.
No, I think it's
We're getting.
Yeah, we'll
they,
get-
they made an effort to say Star-Lord will return, and
And-
I think that means also the Guardians will, but it's never going to be that team.
Who do you
I-
think the next door neighbor is? It's not mowing his lawn.
That's funny.
You know who it would have been? It would have been Stan Lee, but that's what I told Claudia. I'm
Oh.
like, I think that would have been a funny joke, and it should have been
Probably,
Stan Lee,
probably.
and he should have been like, "You bum," like calling him a
Yeah,
bum
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. But I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder if that's going to be an actual thing they'll follow up with, or if that's just like a gun gag. You know what I mean? Like,
I read a thing where
Either way, it's like it really alludes to it. But what did you read?
will like the multiverse wise, Star Lord will show up as a different actor.
like a what if? Like
Oh,
what
the what if,
style.
yeah, exactly.
What's
Yeah.
I'm-
Chadwick, T'Challa was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the Star Lord in that. Like they did a version of what if where
Yeah.
he was
and
Star Lord.
what if is canon?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an actual timeline
Yeah.
of the multiverse.
So it like that's why they say that for one, what I read, it cuts to white as opposed to black. So
Yes.
multiverse, it's
Yeah,
opposite.
and also
It's a Star-Lord.
his the choice of type that they use, it's different
It is different. I did
than
notice
we've
that.
ever seen.
I
It's
did
not.
notice
Your
It's
that.
not.
Pre-com is showing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. What have you? Oh, you. This is a whole other rant.
Yeah.
but There's an SNL skit where Ryan Gosling was the guest star.
Oh yeah,
and
the
he becomes
Avatar.
obsessed with the and it's like they make it like a drama. Like he's like,
Yeah.
but it's not the right.
It's just papaya. Yeah.
It's just papyrus, but they
Papyrus,
never
yeah.
said it was. And he's trying to figure out what
being
font it is.
cheap.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I didn't think of the white background, but that's a good point.
Yes.
That is
So-
a really good point.
They're like we
didn't
all
think of that,
we
son of a
obviously
bitch.
all stayed for the credits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis was head of a department, by the way. He was head of some.
I'm sure him and Sean Gunn must be best friends in real life. 'Cause
Like-
they do. Like Sean Gunn does all the motion cap for Rocket.
It was involved in
Right.
the VFX department.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
So-
Sean Gunn did the voice of Little Rocket.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah, Sean did Sean does all the motion cap for any gun movies. It's his bro.
There
Yeah.
is something
I knew that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
that needs to happen in every other Marvel movie going forward that hasn't been shot.
Okay.
I don't know if they're all shot on red cameras, but he has a huge section at the bottom
Yeah.
for red.
Yeah.
As so I'm assuming the majority of it is.
Probably.
I know you know how good a red, like, don't buy a red unless you know
But that's supposed to be like the future
the
of the camera.
Red
right?
cameras
Yeah.
are just, they're like Apple cameras, right?
Yeah.
They're just the tippy top. But there's no motion blur in his fight scenes. Like, I want to get technical for a second. The way when he slows down the cut,
Right.
and you get to watch like that sequence in the hallway when they fight against all those like squid things.
Yeah.
And then when him and Groot do that spinning shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
That was
see,
so good.
wicked.
you see
So
the
good.
guns coming out
Yeah.
and the roots
Yeah.
growing
Yeah.
perfectly. In Endgame, I know in my head because I've seen it 27 times. There's motion blur, and you do lose a lot.
So
and I can put up
don't
with
know.
it.
Is
I
that
don't
a
know if that's-
director's choice?
I think that might
that
be a
It is
choice.
how
Yeah.
he films,
Right?
Yeah.
and I really wish that they would make that a little bit more standard in the other stuff. I know
hope-
it's his take, but
Yeah.
fuck, is it fun to watch all the expressions change?
I think it's.
I hope they
and it
kind of
work
do
in and
that
out.
for the new Transformers. They did that.
Yeah,
and,
dude,
and
yeah.
it's great.
And I don't. Maybe
It's
red
so
camera
cool.
is what it is, and like the software. I don't know, but it just
It's got to be a mix between because
I-
also
I-
your VFX
Yeah, I think it's a
department,
VFX
right?
stuff,
Like for
like,
sure,
more
because
so.
they're making all of that. Like that's. I think it's a common like because you
I
know
think it's probably a
JJ.
combination,
Like
yeah.
if it was JJ, he'd be like, put in that motion blur, put in some flares, put in some
Yeah.
flares, like right, like that's a creative thing.
But
he
you are right
loves.
though. Like it is like less motion blur.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
like I especially like that gun scene where
Oh.
he has multiple guns
And they're
like,
all
Groot
coming out of him.
And like that scene was in the trailer and
Yeah.
looked fucking cool, and
Yeah.
then it showed up on screen and
well,
it still was
they're,
fucking
they're in the
cool.
giant evolutionary ship,
Yeah.
and that huge room they're in is where the fight's taking place, and it's insane.
Also,
Wait.
it was Gunn's way of being like, this is their last big fucking
Well-
fight with this team. Let's give everyone a nice
Yeah.
spotlight and show how this team.
Are you talking about the hallway
works.
scene?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that one take
Oh
hallway.
my god,
It's one of those ones
it was
where like
incredible.
It spun both sides of the room.
Yeah.
It sped up and
And
slowed down as you
everyone
went
got
through.
a cool.
Yeah.
whoa,
it might
holy
actually
shit moment.
like it's been a while since I've seen the Endgame one where the camera just goes on this like big
yeah,
journey.
going around. Yeah,
but
taking
like
it around,
that
yeah.
one, something about that one just being very tight
Yes.
in and just that
Yeah.
it was lower to the ground. The camera
Yeah.
never really wasn't flying with Spider-Man or
Yeah.
anything. Something
Yeah.
about that one just really felt more compact and
Yeah.
just like
Very
sure.
much so.
it
More
was
fun,
fun.
like definitely fight choreography there because
Yeah.
they're filming that with real. Not saying that they didn't, but I see what you're meaning, especially too. And he's showing it was like a play.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
a
a
play.
lot more
It was
choreographed.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful.
It's that really fun Quicksilver scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
in-
Yes.
yeah,
in-
and the attention to
and,
detail.
and the attention
Days of
to
Future
detail in
Past.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
But it's that with 5 fight sequences.
Yeah.
Like they even do it when they're in nowhere in the
Yeah.
opening, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it is his style of fighting with them.
Totally.
And it's these and I mean, he knows how to break a fourth wall without any of them looking at you, because when
Yep.
they all turn in to do the hero walk
Yeah.
and they all like smile and smirk and know, that's each of them.
Yeah.
That's Batista.
Right.
That's Gillen.
Right.
That's
For all you
Pom-
know,
Clemente.
Gunn's yelling shit at them to
Right?
make them break, and then he's
Right,
like
right.
using it, right? Like
That because
yeah.
they
you guys
all,
are idiots, and they're like
they all
laughing.
know it's their last hero walk, which we've had one in each of them.
Yeah.
He made sure that everybody had a moment in their hero walk as themselves,
Yeah.
as their character. That shit's just fucking smart.
Right.
Did you guys see so they didn't CGI when Nebula's carrying
I've seen this.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That's a 35
That's a-
pound.
Yeah,
like
dude, did you see that?
dummy,
And it
yeah.
breathes. Its chest
Yeah.
moves up and down.
Do you guys want to know? Have you seen the clip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
they're on set and she
Yeah, yeah.
grabs it and then they give it to
No.
Chris Pratt to hold and he's like,
No. Okay, so they were doing a press and they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Stop me if you know this. More for listener, but so they're talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, that was a real dummy. That wasn't a real Pratt,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was 35 pounds, and it did all these things." And then I left it in my office, and people would come in, and this is how he says it. He says they would come in and scream, and then Pratt just like spits his water back into his cup, and he's like, "Pardon?" And he's like, "Yeah, they would come in and scream," and then he leans over off mic, and he's like, "You'd let them come in it, and then they'd scream." And then he's like, "No, they'd come in the room
That
and
seems like a-
scream at
That's
being
such a
scared
Pratt-
Such a
by it."
Pratt
That's
joke,
totally.
you know? Yeah.
He did that shit on Parks and Rec
all the time.
Yeah,
Agreed.
That I totally I've seen those outtakes.
Oh yeah,
right?
they're great.
Oh,
That one, the
Kim Kardashian.
the Kim,
one.
yeah, the Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian
He's like,
one.
they're like, everybody loves a good comeback story, and
Yeah.
they're like, Rocky this, and then he's like, Kim Kardashian. They're like, no, I don't know about that one. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure she gets cum in her back in the video,
video.
and they fucking lose
so
it,
good,
right?
Man,
So,
have
like-
you seen like him and Jennifer Lawrence doing
Oh,
like
yeah.
the face off where they have to insult each other? His improv is so good.
It's unreal.
It's unreal.
I
how good he
hate
is.
that he's so fucking hated because
I
I
know.
love the man.
I don't get it.
Well, he ain't. You know. Okay, sorry.
Is it because it's just him? Like he's always just
Two movies
happy?
in like the last month.
he's the king.
Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
He's owning
but
spring.
also both movies had Beastie Boys. No, Sleep in
no
Brooklyn.
sleep till Brooklyn.
I haven't seen Mario yet. They play that.
They play
Oh,
that.
that's hilarious!
Like right in the beginning.
I
They do.
loved the music in this one, and
I
I,
agree.
love that they stepped
Yeah,
up
we
the
need-
I
decades
agree.
a little bit.
Did you
2000s
see the
was
iPod
bad.
at the end?
I
that
did.
all of it got
The
put
Zune,
onto
you
it.
mean?
I did.
It
Yeah, I
was
love that it
or-
was a
yeah,
Zune.
yeah,
That
the
was
Zune.
great.
My bad, my
Microsoft
bad.
somewhere. Microsoft's like,
We did it.
No one knows, but we did it.
Everyone remembers us.
Yeah, yeah.
The Zoom.
You know why they did that, right? I don't think they could even get sued. Microsoft's probably just happy. They're probably just like,
They're
what?
like, wow.
Awesome.
Zune sales have
There's
through the
20
roof.
Zunes for
Yeah.
everybody.
Do you think it works in the movie?
Yeah, yeah.
or-
I'm sorry if you're. We may need to do an upware or an update to the software, not an upware.
that's great.
The soundtrack was fantastic.
Agreed.
Even that they noted how the soundtrack, like Rocket in the end with it.
Oh, yeah.
asking all the song choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, do you realize like Flaming Lips coming in?
I love that
Oh
song.
my god!
Ending on Florence
Yeah.
has blown up my TikTok. Like everyone's like they show clips of people
Did you
like
see
crying
Florence
and stuff.
watching it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Florence watched it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
Guys, I
And she's just
have
like,
you guys
she
seen,
just looks over at everybody and she smiles and then she looks back and
Good.
gets like lost in
Good.
the moment.
have you guys seen Florence and the Machine like live at all?
I
No.
wish.
I
Oh,
would
man.
love to.
I saw her in Lollapalooza.
She's
and
insane.
She is, and you know what's great
Beast.
about it? She embraces everything. So she wore this gorgeous, long, red floral dress that like dragged across the stage, had her hair all out, and then guess what happens? Like halfway through her set, this huge gust of wind just comes through like, oh man, and it went, and literally she just decided to just go like hit a solo like opera.
Wow.
And everyone just stood in shock because it was like, this is really happening. Yeah, like she was like, it was such
That's
a
feeling the
cool
music.
dude. It was so when that song started playing, yeah, like it just brought me back to that, and
Well,
I
and
was like,
it's-
oh my god,
That album
Like-
holds a special place in my heart.
That
Like,
album is brilliant.
yeah.
It's one of the
one of
best-
my like top 10 favorites.
When
of
I-
all
Four
time.
big hits off that album.
Oh yeah.
I moved to Toronto the year that album, I moved to Toronto a couple years after that album came out, and that was the set we saw at Lolla.
Wow.
So right away,
Oh, God.
that was like the big. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
toured on that
Oh, I
album.
heard her sing that
Yeah, yeah.
song live.
I feel
man.
I could have went
So-
to Oshiaga that year, and I didn't because she played.
I knew
Yeah.
she was there
year.
that
If you
yeah.
I
guys
didn't go.
ever get a chance to see them, like and her,
It's-
like go,
it's on my list.
She's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like
I
she's
would-
and I saw her again in 2011. Now, like she has so much more music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But it was like she played that whole album. Like
isn't
it was.
isn't it weird
unbelievable.
though? Like that song is like probably at this point like over a decade old.
Yeah.
And like that's why it kind of fits the movie so
Yeah.
well
That's
because it is like early
Kate
2000s.
Bush with
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
running
totally.
up a mountain. If it pops in a scene, because we're listening to like the dog days of a relationship is
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
what that song is about.
Yep.
Dog
but
days are gone.
The dog
Yep.
days are over. Is
Cosmos.
It's
Yeah.
it's the dog days of the Guardians, right? Like
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
there's so much thought that went into that last song and that last scene. Fuck.
Oh, and Groot and Raccoon. Groot and Rocket dancing at the end. That's
Right.
Sean and James.
Oh,
That's Sean and James doing the motion cap. So Sean was Rocket and James was Groot dancing. Yeah, that's why it's so crazy.
What
like,
about?
over
Okay,
the-
we got 2 more things.
Yeah, no,
I got 2 things.
Okay, you go with your. See if your thing
Okay,
is
well,
with my brain.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, a cool little Peacemaker
I totally
reunion was
forgot.
very cool too.
Yes.
Like that
Yeah.
was really neat. Nathan was great.
But
He was
like,
great.
Very,
I
very
got
nice.
I got an idiot too. I get it.
Yeah,
right? The
yeah.
running joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
Because what was the bit they were giving? He's
they
like,
snuck in the.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's like, we could all be dead right now, and he's like, what? The what? And he's like, and it starts
Yeah, yeah,
working.
yeah.
He's like, oh.
Also, I love that. That was one of my favorite scenes because that like fucking world looks so.
Oh, the eco
Tangible.
base, the base
Yeah.
made out of
Yeah,
tissue.
you know
Just
what?
like, it
you know
looks
what
so
it was?
tangible.
It was Osmosis Jones live action. That's what it would be. I literally looked at Claudia and I was like, if you ever wanted to see a live action Osmosis Jones, these guys can do it.
Can it,
'Cause
like
that was
literally
great.
pulling out like a low ass reference that not many people will remember.
Oh, I know that's
Bill
a
Murray.
generation.
Chris
Bill Murray,
Rock?
Chris
I think
Rock,
that's a
and
generation thing
That's
right there.
so funny.
But that was the first thing I thought of. Is I was like,
That was
this
Amoeba
reminds me of
cops.
watching Osmosis
Yeah.
Jones right now. Like,
their base was a booger
right.
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
pick,
And they were cops.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, Nathan Fillion's time was perfect. The shot, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the or is it the shot? Who
well, and
gets-
what did they do? They reverse. He reverses he makes the
Oh.
bodysuits just go haywire.
Right,
essentially.
right, right.
So they're
Yes.
like flying around like bullets, and then I love that he slowed that down.
So I did,
his line when he's like, "Come on, let us do this for our friends. We really need this." And
Yeah.
then that alien girl's like, "Fine." And
Yeah.
and she's like, "What? What are you doing?" He was
Yeah.
like, "I lied."
and
Yeah,
you know who
I just
that
need to
totally
get to your
lied.
com-
I just
I
need
just
the
need to get to your
access code.
computer.
you
Told
know
you
which,
she was into me.
that actress. You know who she is?
She looks so familiar.
She does.
Do you know who it is?
Who the fuck is it?
Rat Catcher 2.
It is. Oh, it totally is.
And
Fuck.
then
Now, yeah.
you know, I think
Peacemaker reunion, man, or Suicide Squad reunion.
Suicide-
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
The
James
millennial
Gunn's wife.
superhero who doesn't want to get out of bed.
What?
That's James Gunn's wife.
Ratcatcher 2?
Not Ratchet. Sorry, the other woman who plays
The blonde who plays the computer analyst
the-
from Peacemaker.
Yes.
That's his. I did know that.
And
I
she's
did
in the
know that.
movie, too.
Wait, like the one in Peacemaker that kicks the shit out of people? Is
Yeah,
that
The
the
hot
bitch?
one. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that
That's James Gunn's
cuddles
wife.
up with
That's
Cena.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James
Wow. That's a fun couple.
So
'cause
she's
she's
in
like,
she's in what does she play in?
Peacemaker. She's
Oh,
the,
sorry, in Guardians.
oh, she's one
Oh,
of the head.
she's just like
she's
yeah.
the one that gets shot in the leg, and then she's
right,
just like,
right. That's
and
what
that's
it
the
is.
last you see of her
That
character.
really is, yeah.
but giving
And she's
her,
like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop shooting people.
I gotta give some air to the brilliance of. That is the perfect fuck for a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Like
It's
be-
also
do you know what?
Marvel's. If they're saying we're getting Deadpool 3 R-rated,
Yep.
then they got to start dropping a couple fucks here and
I
there.
hate when people clutch their pearls and they're like, "You can't put a fuck in a Marvel movie." Doing that, but in that scene. So let's break that scene down for a second.
Yep.
It's Peter learning to drive for the
Yep.
first time because he left Earth at 8, didn't
yeah,
get his
yeah.
fucking driver's license. So that alone is fucking funny,
That is funny.
right?
They've
That-
never
that-
been in an Earth car, so the
No.
idea of a butt, like,
Yeah.
they're used to probably like you scan it or you just it opens for you,
So
right?
her,
How
her
fuck
advanced
was that funny?
technology,
Yep.
and his lack of
You
even
push-
being in one.
Push the button and pull, and it just reminded me of like how many times have we been in that scenario,
Right.
Where you're telling someone, fucking just you push it down.
Yeah. It also is like very counterintuitive if you think about it.
Yeah,
But
Push
it-
and pull?
the way he sets it up, I swear to you, Pratt and him talked, and he's like, "Give me a fucking this line. Just don't tell anybody. Just give me a take with it."
I
because
think
when-
he.
Gunn had a great interview about.
I did
the
hear
fuck.
about this
he,
one.
he
Yeah.
was
says
great about his
you see
legacy.
you see the button below the handle, push it in.
Yeah.
Okay, I did. What next?
Fucking open it.
Open the fucking door. It's
Yeah.
open the fuck. Is it fucking open it?
No,
Or-
I'm pretty sure he
Open
says
the
open the
fucking
fucking
duck
door. Open
Yeah,
the fucking door.
That's what he says.
But
Yeah.
it's Pratt looking at her like, why the fuck would you know how the car works?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
left Earth at 8.
Yeah.
Like you haven't. It's so fucking.
It's one of those things where you know, like that is such a real, like that's how we would all say it.
We'd
Yes,
all we've
that's
all
what I'm
been
trying
there.
to
We've
get
all
at.
been
Yeah,
there.
we've all
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah.
That moment
Just
is
fucking press the button.
Yeah.
right.
And sometimes you get that out of an actor, and it's so fun because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it just hits so.
That's why I'm
like,
curious to
home.
know. Like, was that?
That was improv.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it's
that's
gotta
what
be,
I've. That's
right?
what I've.
Oh, that's
saw the
even
interview.
better.
It is, eh? It
he
totally
said
was,
it,
eh?
and then he showed the cut, to
Feige.
Disney.
Yeah,
to Feige.
yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, everything's good. And he was surprised. Apparently, he was like, nothing about the fuck. And he's like, well, Russo brothers had one in
Yeah,
They
so
chickened out.
Endgame.
yeah, so
Or
and
something,
and
they
he said it
pulled
was
it.
something close to like go
Yeah.
fuck yourself,
Yeah.
snap, which would have been baller.
And so he was like, well, like like keep it if you think it works. And he's like, I'm gonna keep it.
yeah,
Like,
what
that
Feige
was kind of what-
specifically said to the Russos that scared them out of it was he goes, hey, like we're okay with it, but just
Yeah.
know that's your legacy.
That's what he said.
your
Fuck.
legacy is going to be
Yeah.
the fuck.
And then
first
and he
fuck.
kind of said
And
that.
the Russos were like, no.
And that's what
and
he
then
told
he
James
said the same to
Gunn.
Gunn, and then they're like, and he said, are you okay with that? And he goes, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Like,
that as
of
my
course.
legacy. Let's do it. Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
I think it has been overblown. And I'm like, who fuck cares? It's,
Yeah.
it's a,
I don't.
It's the kid
I
thing,
don't
right?
care
It is,
about
yeah.
the. I care about the brilliance, the improv, how
Agreed.
it all came to be.
It's so
Let's
fun.
stop
Okay.
getting so bent out of shape.
Looking
with
at the
this,
kid,
dude.
and
Yeah.
also looking, I don't have kids, so also
Yeah.
anyone listening to this
Yeah.
can tell me to go fuck myself too.
Sure.
But I'm
We're
just
all
saying,
here to go fuck
if
ourselves.
I'm just saying, as like if I had a kid
Right.
and my kid was with me watching that movie,
Right.
I'll be honest with
That's
you.
how you make me feel,
The
kid.
fuck-
Sometimes.
The fuck is a
Yeah.
The fuck is a quick like, oops. But I'll be honest with you, as a parent, I'd be way more horrified for my child when they see that fucking
face.
faceless man.
Agreed.
That's the thing of nightmare. No one stays up at night
was-
and it's like, Mommy,
I-
a man said fuck and it scared me. No, it's going to be like, the man with no face is under my bed.
I went to a
That
9
kid doesn't
a.m.
care about
screening
fuck.
on a Saturday when I
A
watched
midnight screening?
9 a.m.
Oh, fuck,
And
I love how you watch movies.
I know, it's
great.
Dude. It's 9 a.m. and it was like packed. It wasn't like there were kids there, but very respectful.
Yeah.
But definitely, like every once in a while you heard a kid kind of like laugh loudly, like
Mm-hmm.
a kid laugh, like at random stuff. But that mask coming off, and I'm like, fuck, I feel bad for those kids
No
right
kidding.
now.
That
Like,
would fuck me
I
up.
was
That's the
like,
stuff of nightmare.
I
It
would,
is.
I know I'd be terrified.
No, I
Like,
honestly, if I was like 6,
and it
7
came
years
off
old and saw that,
slow.
Yeah.
And then it had a dribble.
And,
Like-
and James was kind of sinister because he filmed it with you're seeing from behind. So I'm like,
Oh,
they're
I
not
know.
gonna
I didn't
show
think
it.
you were gonna see
And then
it.
cut to it.
I know.
And he's like, and you're like, oh, Two-Face.
It's funny.
get-
I
you
know.
get-
It's a little Two-Face, but worse.
I thought it was like that's what Red Skull would have looked like without CGI.
Yeah.
that was the real Red
You
Skull.
know what? It looked like Red Skull had a stroke.
Yeah, literally. And
Yeah.
the fact is, people, he has his face ripped off and he's alive. He has dialogue with them with no
Yeah,
face.
that's the
And then
crazy
they
part.
fucking kill him.
Well, yeah, and
Or
then
the
you
guardian of the galaxy. No,
you're talking about the uniqueness of the gun. You get the two shots. So you
Yeah,
get,
yeah.
You get
Yeah.
the rip scene.
You get the rip.
then you get the holding of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Seeing it from his,
That's right.
his side.
Yeah.
And then it's cut back to
Because it flaps, right? And you
Yeah.
see it flapping, and they're like, let me help you
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
RoboCop.
and then a little line of goo.
Yeah,
like-
that's
like
right, that's right.
plasma
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck is hanging, and you can hear it. Like
I just wanted to say one last thing, villain-wise. Again, it kills me. This was one villain I think would have been cool to keep around.
Yeah.
But I guess that's Marvel being like, King, me.
No, we're done. We're done
no.
with Guardians.
Yeah, I guess. But I will say, like, I really loved this villain.
Agreed.
I really fucking hated him, especially
So did
in all the animal. Like,
Yeah.
he was a really good villain to hate again. We haven't had that since Thanos.
Well, I think it's the
So-
like you felt so much for the animals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rocket,
And
that
he
you
was-
just like it.
And there was nothing
worked both
good.
sides,
Like, there was
yeah.
never like a scene where he was alone. He was like, I had
Yeah.
a family once.
I'm
you know?
doing this for the
no,
better.
right. It was
Yeah.
just he was an absolute piece of shit. Yeah. And I like villains like that. I hate, like, don't get me wrong, they're good in times, but I hate when Marvel always goes to, let's make it for like they're not always bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I had a
I don't
daughter
need-
once.
We
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't
give
need
them
my
a
Come
redemption.
on.
Yeah.
I don't need redemption all the
I
time.
don't need
what
Michael
happened to the
B.
ones that are just
Yeah.
born bad?
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan did it best, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
And he
Killmonger?
embraced
Yeah.
it.
He
'Cause he
embraced
was
it.
like, I want to do this because I
Yeah.
want to do this.
Yeah.
Not,
Um,
I can't have my career make me always look bad because people will think I'm bad.
No,
then.
man, I
It's
want
like, no,
I
fuck,
want
go for broke.
MCU needs a Joker. Someone who
Huh.
is straight up like,
Interesting.
I want to snap because I like the idea that half
Yeah.
the world's gone, not because of family. Like, I get I get it, but I love how even in What If, he's
Yeah.
like, he's still
Yeah.
arguing
Yeah.
for it. And they're
It's
like,
great.
shut up, dude.
What If's
like,
so
yeah.
good. I love
yeah.
What
a
If.
round
What
of
If's a
beers
really
with
good-
Thanos. He's like,
Yeah. I had an idea once that none of this would have happened. And they're like, okay.
Final thoughts.
My final thought. I saw this in a James Gunn interview. My TikTok knew I went to see this.
Yeah, it's just
It
like,
hurt.
Like
there you
fucking
go.
China was like here. But anyways, the best thing I heard was these three movies. The first one is about Peter dealing with his mom. Second one is Peter dealing with his dad. This one Peter dealing with himself. And I think that's like
Oh.
such a
Wow.
perfect metaphor.
Yeah.
And just like
That's deep for a comic book movie.
story
It's great.
journey. Like even the collective of a family, all these broken people coming
Yeah.
together. Like, there is something
New
like
family, old family.
yeah. It's so beautiful when I heard it that way, and I was like, yeah, there's a reason why these movies stand alone as like probably it might be like the best MCU like
Breakaway. Yeah.
Breakaway like
Yeah.
it's the one I would show like people that are like I'm not really into comic book movies like
Yeah.
I'm not a big space guy and I love them
Like after Endgame, this, Shang-Chi, and Spidey have been the only movies that I was
and
like,
Shang-Chi
Don't forget Wakanda Forever.
okay.
I got happy for
I
Wakanda.
did
doesn't
not.
hold
I didn't-
hold out as well.
I rewatched it the other day and I
Yeah.
couldn't finish it. I was like, this sucks.
Ironheart kind of ruins it.
It does.
You know
But
what?
I can get through that for
You
I
now.
know
know,
what?
I agree.
For me, with Wakanda, my biggest issue, Namor was the most interesting thing, which
Yes.
is not good when your movie's called Black Panther Wakanda
know,
Forever.
I
Just
know.
being
That is
honest.
true.
And two, the other thing too was we all fucking knew it was going to be the sister.
Yep.
Why not just make her the new Black Panther in the first 30 minutes? Why did you wait for that stupid ending?
Yeah,
that
that's
was
fair.
a
Because
little-
at that point, I was
Though-
like,
I could've
actually-
unwrapped that present
I actually
earlier.
liked Ironheart more because I was like,
I thought-
at least
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen
Can we-
here, but I know what's happening already.
I don't know about you. I was surprised Michael B. Jordan was the cameo when
That
she
was
goes in her-
I did not expect
I
it.
did not. I was like,
and it
fuck.
was cool.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna fucking do a like CGI.
Yeah, I was
like,
so
thing.
nervous.
Everyone
I
freaked
was
out, and it
so
was
nervous about
Killmonger.
that.
I
And
gotta,
this
I gotta,
she
I gotta
freaks
take
out.
us out of the
Oh, sorry.
whirlpool of adjacent Marvel. 'cause
Sorry.
no,
Right,
don't
Guardians,
be sorry.
Guardians.
I want to do this. But yeah, okay. Final thoughts for you.
I did final thoughts.
Okay.
Very quickly, did you guys?
He doesn't
very
know
quick,
final thoughts
Very,
for you.
very quickly though. Quantumania, hate, dislike, okay. Well, just quick 2 or 3 words. Like, did you?
Didn't
hate
get
that?
me hard.
Okay,
Didn't hate it as much as everyone else, but also I did think it was a waste of time.
I
Yes,
kind of
yes.
agree. Waste of time.
It was entertaining, but a waste of
very
waste of
forgettable.
time.
Like I
Yes.
don't remember
Yeah.
watching it. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Final thoughts, Guardians.
like, hey, Marvel, MCU, I get it. You guys lost Gunn. That sucks. But this is your, like, canvas.
How many
Like, this is
Drax
your,
out of 10?
Yeah, how many Drax? There you go. Yeah,
I'll give it, oh, man. You know what? I'm going to give it 8.5 Why is Gamora's out of 10.
It's still the best line he's had.
Why is Gamora? It's the confidence. It's the confidence. I'll give
That is
you
like-
one. Why is
It's
Gamora?
That's so funny.
I,
my favorite line of
I am.
Michael, what is your final thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I think it's
How many raccoons?
Rakens.
how many rocket raccoons do you mean?
Raccoons.
Because now we got to call him by his full name. Right?
Rocket.
It's all about the name. It's all about an identity. I love James Gunn,
Rockets.
and I think this was a perfectly tied bow. I think he knows how to walk away from something. I think he knows how to tell a fantastic story with depth and character and silliness and dark humor. Like I have never said a bad thing about a Guardians movie, and I will not start now. I'm
Fair.
going to give this 9 forget Draxes out of 10.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
Forgets.
Completely invisible. right now.
did. I pushed that door over. Let's go going.
I'm completely invisible right now.
Ian, how many
I give it. I think the first one will always hold a special place in my heart. Like, there's like that scene where they all decide to like be a team,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Look at us, we're all 5 people standing around like idiots." You
Yeah.
know, like so
Yeah.
like something about that movie is so magical. Still,
Yeah.
this
Yes.
one comes so close. It's just that first one, and I think this is like a very solid like next to it, and then the second one's probably my least
Did
favorite out
not
of the
care
3.
for the second one, to be
Yeah,
honest.
there's something like
Did
it
not
has
care about
it
it.
has moments. Baby Groot.
Yeah, Baby Groot opening, great intro.
hang on,
The
okay.
opening of number 2 is fantastic.
Amazing.
I'm gonna
Really
kill
good.
myself.
Stan Lee's cameo. Seeing Kurt Russell in makeup to make him look young, pretty cool.
Yep.
They did a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
But that whole movie was like,
It's weird.
this is just so we know that Star-Lord is half
Human.
a fucking god.
Yeah.
Who
Or have a
gives a
god.
shit?
right?
It was a little long.
You could have done that in a
I
fucking
know.
10-minute flashback. Anyways.
I want to ask a question, see if we all caught it, because he's explained it since. I love you guys.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
yes.
hear anything.
Have you understood how he's
Yes.
trying to? So
Yes.
it's not that Groot learned English.
We understood Groot.
We understood Groot.
Whoa.
That's what it's supposed to be at the end of the movie.
So
just like-
he's actually still saying,
I
I
am
am Groot,
Groot.
but we're finally understanding him.
Just like Gamora finally understands him at the end there.
Pretty neat. Eh?
Oh, yeah. and she's okay.
She's like,
So
you know,
that-
he's just saying
I
I am Groot.
can't-
So
She says,
so
I know
that-
he's just
wait to
saying
tell
I am
Claudia
Groot
this.
over and over again.
Oh, I
that
can't wait
moment
to know
happens
that.
before the "I love you guys."
Yes, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's supposed to tie in that way. I believe.
And that's
I
your
think.
way of the light bulb kind of going
That's
off
how
and
it's
being
supposed to
like,
be.
It's the early alert to.
Such good writing, man. God damn it. I can't wait to tell Claudia because she's going to be like, oh my God. I'll be like, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
because I did not.
I didn't catch it.
I
at
just
first.
thought it was
I
cool.
was like,
I did what the whole theater did. We all just went, whoa.
Oh, I just
But we
went
did
like,
not like. I was like,
my
cool.
heart,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't fully get that. That's genius.
Yeah.
my baby heart.
So does that mean potentially, from here on
You
out,
know how
if
to
we
speak
hear
tree?
No, I mean, yeah,
You really don't know how to.
I
Hang
know.
on,
Fucking
hang on.
idiot.
Are we going to
Don't
understand
leave-
Groot all the time? Now?
Don't
here on
leave
out.
here and talk to the birch in my
Yeah.
backyard,
Yeah.
okay?
Like your trees fucking suck. They don't say shit.
I'm Charles.
One-way conversation.
But I mean, like, if Groot
You have
comes
nice
back,
bark.
if Groot comes back and talks, will we hear dialogue?
I assume so.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will because they got to pay Vin for each.
Oh,
if
that's
he
right.
says new dialogue,
That's
they got.
true.
They don't want to do
just,
that.
I
They
just
got
don't
him at
think.
scale.
Yeah.
That "I love you" is like fuck. Here's fucking another.
Well, it's
500
also
million.
I love
Three.
you. I love you guys is 4, so
Yeah.
it's the longest.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Isn't it funny we have to think about like that shit that studios have to think about?
Hey man, writer
That's-
strike.
I guess they don't now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
we
sorry.
support writers here.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course.
Very quickly.
I am a writer.
9 mantises out of 10.
Oh, 9 mantis.
I have to give it a very high score.
Yeah,
It's very good.
It is.
It's I want to see it again. Like
I'll
that's-
watch it again.
Yeah, and that's
And again.
rare,
What did I-
rarity these days.
What did I write? And it is the honest truth. The first thing I said was, "This has restored my faith in
Yes.
the MCU," because I will say, I was, and I think we all feel it. The superhero fatigue thing
Yeah.
was becoming real, and it was becoming real because, not that there's not new content. It's just as you're watching it, you're like, "Yeah, this is okay," but like, what happened to like
It's just
when we had like fucking Captain America hold Thor's hammer and shit? Like, where's that
know.
flair?
I
It
That's-
seems like it's dead. And then Guardians happen, and you're like, "Wow, it's still here."
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, no, I
don't think every
agree with the
character needs
sentiment.
a film. And I think, like, for instance, if you want to introduce a new character, special presentation, 30-minute short, Disney Plus.
Do
Right?
you guys
Bam.
think it will
Yeah.
be what
Yeah.
do you guys think it will be the #1 movie of the summer?
No,
I agree.
I think Oppenheimer.
Whoa.
No, actually, hang on.
No,
I think
Oppenheimer
Transformers
Whoa.
and Indiana Jones will be at each other's
Oh,
throats.
those
I
are
think
coming out.
Indiana Jones,
Indiana
Barbie,
Jones will be a big.
Oh,
Barbie's
Barbie.
gonna
Then
be
Guardians.
huge. I think you're right. I think Barbie, because again, we're not saying that Guardians doesn't have a strong
Yeah.
female audience, but Barbie is much more
Bar-
catered to
Bar-
a female
Barbie
audience. too,
is
right?
coming out later in the summer, so it might not like have enough time.
July,
to-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around my birthday. No big deal. No, but
I know what we're doing for your birthday.
Yeah, right.
Barbie party.
Well, Nolan
Do we need
always
to tell him it wasn't planned on that by the studio?
Nolan actually always releases.
Ian Bow's birthday's around the corner. We should release him that
Yeah.
day.
Nolan always releases movies third week of July, which is my birthday. So his movies always land usually like Dark Knight Rises,
You got a
Inception.
good
has landed.
birthday.
Yeah. Well, no, we're buds.
Man, you had The Dark Knight and Step Brothers in the same. Those movies were a week apart.
Really?
Oh yeah, I went back to back and watched. Like I rewatched Dark Knight and then saw Step Brothers for the
That's
first time
funny.
right after. It
That's
was
really funny.
Yeah, it was amazing. That was a great year for movies. Sorry.
No,
It's
no,
like-
no.
No, it's fine.
That was
It's
the
fine.
best. Remember that.
Let's.
That's a good. That's what we're doing for your birthday. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm down.
let's plan that for sure.
That movie looks. Hey,
Insane.
by the way, I got to send in the group chat. You guys are gonna laugh. IGN reposted it. A theater in the States showed the trailer, and when Albert Einstein showed up, the crowd lost it.
That's
Like
what
it was
okay.
fucking Daredevil.
Jimmy was
like
talking
they
about
lost
that.
it like it was like what? Like people. I had to look and be like, this is the audio from something else. No, it was real. They did
That's
it
so
as
funny.
a joke, but they all organized it, and it
That's
was
funny.
brilliant.
E equals
Brilliant.
MC
I
squared,
sent it to
baby.
Jimmy, and I said, I'm like, Jimmy, you started the trend, baby, and he loved it.
That's
Yeah.
so
It's
funny.
really funny. Like, as
That's
soon as
hilarious.
it shows him, you're like, what on? You hear
Okay.
people, like, freaking
Holy
out.
shit!
It's the Stein!
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do that the second time in the theater. So
Yeah.
the first time I don't ruin it for myself.
I think it would be really funny, especially to go to, like, a PAX screening, and when Einstein just shows up, we just lose it.
We have to do it for that, and the next trailer should be The Flash and Batman. and
Oh,
then we
yeah.
do it again.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah.
Let's get nuts.
Fuck. I hate that it has Ursa in it, but fuck, does it look good.
What does this mean? You know what this means? It means hope.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I say it.
I'm taking pictures for our grandkids.
Yeah.
All right, listener.
It's gonna be good.
It will, and I know that, and you know what's funny is I'm pretty sure because it's Flashpoint, he doesn't need to be the Flash in Gunn's universe, so I'm pretty sure this is
Yeah, this is it.
peace.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Baker.
The kid from the TV show's like,
Ezra no
I'll
more.
do it.
Yep.
let's
Move on.
let's move on. There you go. There's your Guardians take, listener. And,
Go see it.
Go fucking see it.
Yeah.
Go see it more than once.
If you haven't seen it by this point, get in there.
and if you can, bring your dog or cat, or
Yes,
bring an
bring a
animal
pet,
with you.
Bring a pet and cuddle with it.
Yeah, bring something to hold.
Yeah, how hard did you hold Diamond? Like me and Claudia just smothered her when we got home.
I just I had this massive guy beside me, and my tears kept dropping, and I just kept doing that thing where I didn't want to show that I was crying.
Yeah.
But I kept doing very subtle wipes.
Yeah.
Because he was just I don't know. I just was losing my shit, and I was and I saw a movie the night before, an indie TIFF movie at a film festival. And I was crying through that one, and I'm like, "Is it me lately? Is it am I thinking about family and my dad and stuff lately?" And
of course, yeah.
I'm no, I think it's I think these movies are
They're
just
good.
hitting me right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, you get hit a different way.
And again,
Yeah.
Animals, it's a different hit.
Animals
it
is a
hits
different hit.
harder every
Yeah.
fucking time.
You know who gets hit
Every
really hard? Stunt doubles.
No
Good.
way. What do you mean, Mike?
Wow.
Tell us more.
Well, the world of stunts. I may know a stuntman or two. Actually, we're friends with the same stuntman. Multiple stunt people. Yeah, a couple stunt. We've had Kristen Sawatsky
Yep.
on the
Oh,
show. She's a stunt
cool.
woman. BJ Verreau, stuntman. I've known him since we were in grade 9 together, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's been thrown around by Michael J. White, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, Black
That's
Dynamite.
Black
cool.
Dynamite himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In
want to
the-
get thrown through a wall by
He
Black
got
Dynamite.
thrown around in the Sudden Impact remake that they shot here.
No way.
Yeah, and it was a Detroit Pistons game, I
Yep.
think,
Yes.
instead of and they used the MTS Center.
Yeah, I was
for
going
it.
to say that was a
And
big
he
deal.
he gets thrown from the ground on top of a locker, it's
shit.
a 4-foot throw.
Oh, dope.
I think he's wired. He's probably wired.
Oh, I'm
for
sure.
that.
Yeah,
but
I've seen the fight scene. Yeah.
the drop is
Dope.
in it, but he gets up there, and then as soon as the fight ends,
His body just drops.
his body
off.
just
Yeah.
curls off and drops and gets knocked. I'll show you the scene after.
Cool.
But-
That's awesome.
yeah, no, we've talked to a bunch of stunt performers, and we're all somewhat adjacent to them.
Did you do any? I did a stunt theater.
I never.
I did as well.
You did.
Yeah,
eh?
you guys were
It was
theater.
fun.
I fucking regret not going to theater school.
Oh, that was one of the cool.
You're never
things,
too
but-
old.
I know. I just not enough time, man. Unless I want to
Never too old to learn something new.
vlog going to film school at 40.
Hey guys,
That'd
Let
be
me
fun.
tell you. Let me tell you what you.
Hey
need to
everyone,
watch.
it's me, Michael.
I'm gonna get tossed through a wall here.
Hey everybody, it's me, Michael, going to film school. Here's my day. No, we've interviewed stunt people, but I thought let's talk about stunts on screen.
Stunt people and I just need to say stunt
Yeah,
people
start it.
and the side of this industry needs. It's sad that in 2023 and how long the film has been an industry. Film has been an industry.
The film.
These people do
The film.
not get
Yeah.
enough recognition
It's been
and
a thing.
spotlight.
It's been a thing
Like-
on the Oscars where they're like, we should recognize stunt people and casting people.
but it shouldn't even be asked. It's
Yeah.
something that it's the same way that cinematographers and editors are looked at. I don't understand why they're looked over.
yeah.
But people die. I don't
Yeah.
know many cinematographers that die every year.
No.
but there's at least a stunt person
Well, not unless
that's
they're
dying.
90 and have cancer.
But
Or on set with Alec Baldwin.
we got to get a whistle or something there. That's a good one.
yeah, right about. There it is.
Yeah. So whenever he does a movie now, does insurance just go up?
Yeah, I don't. His premiums
Yeah.
are life and death.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets the one gun from the other guys.
Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, that kind of thing. That whole world is built around the violent aspects of film,
Yeah.
and the dangerous
Yeah.
aspects of film. So, I don't know, when I was younger, when I found out wrestling was fake, I wasn't that upset.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Right?
What?
when you realize, when you
I mean, fake, yes, but also not.
Entertaining as
Because,
fuck.
fake,
Yeah.
right? It's
But a
the-
lot of them get
Controlled.
seriously injured.
it's
Right.
controlled
Yes.
entertainment
Yes.
in a
yes.
physical manner.
Yes.
But
yes.
he's letting himself be thrown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? When I found out that not all actors do all their own stunts, I was more let down.
Yeah. Right.
I really thought,
Right.
but then I didn't. It's because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And then when you get older and you start to realize that's. I mean, it's always Tom Cruise, but it's not always Jim Carrey.
Right.
Right? You start to understand why that's an aspect. Even the fucking opening of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is all about why an
Yeah.
actor can't
Yeah.
do their own stunts. All
That's
the time.
right. That's right.
So I don't know. Did you guys have the same problem I had, where you felt let down by the industry you love?
The realization, I think, came, and we'll see this list soon, but the realization came from Jackie Chan films.
Yeah.
Which started showing you the bloopers, and that became the fun of it. Where
Yeah.
you saw a man
Drunken Master.
all of his films.
That's
I think
why
essentially
you were saying favorite stuff. That's
yeah.
like one
it
of
is.
my
It is.
go-to.
It is his best. Film.
Rumble in the Bronx,
Yeah.
Drunken
Yeah.
Master, like my
Super
two,
Cop,
Rush
oh,
Hour.
yeah.
Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Two, like those are like my go-to.
But you
Jackie Chans,
see
for
him
sure.
do the stunts, and you
Yeah.
go, "Oh fuck, okay."
Yeah.
And like you kind of understand when the camera doesn't cut because all of a sudden it looks way more impressive.
right,
You know,
and there's no jump cut to a close-up of the action.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
let the
Exactly.
action play
Yeah.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So
the one.
like-
It's the one take of a stunt versus.
Yeah, because they'll
5
get the
cameras
actor.
and-
They'll get the
Yeah.
actor to jump like up,
Yeah.
and they're gonna cut there, and they get the stuntman to do that same jump, except then the stuntman gets thrown for
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like that's
Just
literally
like in a rock
and
band.
Yeah,
now
like this
hit
is
the
literally
ground hard.
yeah, like literally, like it's actually like I shouldn't say it's funny, like it is, but I mean not probably for
Yeah.
them, but
Bring in
when
the
you
dummy.
see the
Yeah.
process of them doing it,
Yeah.
and it's this juiced, like it's the guy, they look double from far away, they're wearing the same shit and everything,
Yeah.
but you see one guy just doing a leap, and then the other guy, oh, that guy eats the shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, like you know, I don't know if you guys have been on set when they had stunt people, but sometimes it's just like
Yeah.
They're-
What is that moment like? 'Cause
Well, like,
it changes my, my
but
understanding. of
like
it.
sometimes it's just even the most minor things. They have to have a stunt person there present
Yeah.
as a coordinator, but
Yeah.
then also a person there as a double as an option in case, like, especially if there's like even a jog running scene. I was in I worked one of my first jobs was on a Sam Jackson movie, and like literally the scene at the end, Sam Jackson's the bad guy. They're running through a backyard. Sam Jackson's chasing them.
That's
with a gun.
Is it Beyond Reasonable Doubt?
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah,
Reasonable
man,
Doubt,
I
yeah.
was
I'm
Lock-
in
it
that
was
movie
filmed
too.
at the Law Courts.
I
They
was
are.
a cop extra in. I actually was in the. I'm not in the movie, which is hilarious. It's the back of me. I'm in the interrogation room. I got to I
Oh.
was like this far away. From
I was
Sam
probably
Jackson.
there on set.
Did you
We
get
and we
good cop
didn't
or
even
bad
know
cop?
each other.
Um,
I was just like, dude, just look at like you're standing behind Sam Jackson.
Well, here's the funny. I was working
Yeah.
on set, and I'm in the movie. I got casted in the movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I steal the car in the beginning.
We need to have
but
a
they kind of
final
cut.
night.
They cut me out. Like,
Right, right, right.
I'm sorry. I'm in the scene still. Like,
Yeah.
I just you don't.
but there's
really,
no like, oh, that's Ian.
Yeah. Like it's you
Close
can tell.
up on Ian
Oh, that's
Bauer.
like
If I tell you, you could tell it's me. It's like medium enough where you're like, oh, that's Ian.
Sam's leaving the police station, and there's a wide shot where he nods to a cop as a cop's walking
Is that
in.
you?
That's me.
Oh my god.
And all I'm doing, and it's like Ian said, all I'm doing is my officer, for whatever reason they explained to me, and I can't remember, I have the authority for a shotgun. So I'm holding a shotgun. Man, they had to spend 45 minutes with me,
Yeah,
like,
I've gotten
going
warning,
through
yeah.
everything, showing me that it's empty,
Yep.
showing me that, like, this
Yeah.
is not an active trick. Like, that's why when the whole Alec Baldwin thing came, like, my only taste of that, and I was a fucking no one.
Yeah.
And they spent 45 minutes with me to make sure, like, don't fuck around.
You're
Also, you're
someone's
not going to get
son.
hurt.
You're-
You're not going to get hurt, blah,
you-
blah, blah. And then that whole thing happened. I was like, there's no excuse. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And he's a producer, so yeah, fuck him.
Weird.
Anyway,
fucking shit.
sorry, tangent, but
yeah, no,
it is
well,
like what you're
adjacent
saying, like,
for sure.
we-
Like it's where the violence happens, and
Yep.
like I mean, I read what I read, and I know what I know only because of that. I've never actually been on a set where a stunt is taking place, but I mean, a director worth their salt will be like, "Set's yours."
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Where like a director normally will be like, "All right, I want the stunt to look like this," and you're going to do, and it's like you don't know stunts, man. So like, and that like Chad Stahelski, like
Yeah.
the John Wick fame.
Yeah.
That's stunt man.
Yeah.
Now director. And it seems that like that's the interesting part of it is that they know the choreography, they know the violence, they know the safety of it.
Totally.
So their career path just makes sense to
That's
become
why,
a
like,
director.
Jackie was always like an uncredited director because, like, he
Right.
had to, like,
Well,
he would
he
tell them-
choreographed
he
all
choreographed
of it,
and he
yeah.
would be telling them, like, yeah,
Yeah.
no close up, just wide here because, like,
Yeah.
this guy's going through a fucking wall. So,
Yeah.
but like you could tell, and then I think it got to a point. I think Jackie directed
I don't know.
a movie called Three Strikes.
I remember Three
Strikes or something like
I
that.
barely
think
remember that one. But
There's
I do remember
there's
it.
something where it was the first time he actually got credited as a director because he basically did co-direct most of the movie.
Sure.
But, like, they acknowledged it. kind of thing.
Sidebar: Jackie Chan Adventure, great cartoon show. Watch it.
Yeah? Really?
Still holds up.
Really, eh?
Very good. Very
Okay,
good
cool.
show. Very good show. Anyway, stunts.
Yeah, no. It's so perverse to me that they get pimped out for like the most insane moment of a thing
Yeah.
with no recognition. Like this is a constant topic we talk about here because we know these people and I've interviewed these people. You work with them, Ian. You've been in the industry, Charles. Like there's
Yeah,
you know
man.
you've just seen it for so long and then you find out that like and I I'm wondering, like, if you play devil's advocate and you go, the studio and the producers don't want to recognize the stunt double. We're not talking about how much time they fill. Prime example: there's 4 people who play Mandalorian.
Yeah,
It's not
that's right.
always.
That's right.
Pedro Pascal.
It's not always Pedro Pascal. It's
No, and
not
a lot
always
of the
Daddy.
time, I hear a lot of the time, sometimes like because of just how long it takes to get the suit on and
ADR
stuff,
is
they'll
all he
just
does.
they'll film with the stunt double.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Like,
And so we're not talking about how much time the stunt double is on screen.
yeah.
We're talking about a recognition of somebody
The work.
taking their life and putting it in harm's way
Yeah.
Yep.
for a really cool thing that makes us all fun that we pay to
Well,
see.
hey,
That's all we're acknowledging here.
Writers aren't on screen. Producers aren't on screen.
Yeah.
And their fucking names are like, again, writers need more recognition. I agree. I shouldn't put them in the same
No,
room as
but what you're-
producers but what I'm saying is like
You're
they're
not
not on
comparing-
screen, but they're
yeah.
a huge part of the process that gets a lot of recognition.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I support the writer strike absolutely, but how come nobody ever will strike for stuntmen? And they should.
Yeah.
Like, they
That's-
really
yeah.
should,
Oh,
man.
There's probably no union,
No.
right?
And if
sure
they're
they fall under something.
they have
well,
to. They have to
I think
legally.
should
I
say
think
they
they have
the
to.
strength of the WGA.
they
Yeah.
fall under SAG.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they would have to.
Yeah.
I imagine. Like, I'm sure even
Or ACTRA.
Yeah, I was going to say the stuntmen here. I'm
They
sure
do.
ACTRA.
Okay,
No,
so
But what I'm saying is like when a stuntman dies,
Yeah.
it's a memoriam, thing at the end of the movie that if people watch and actually
Right.
read,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's fucking it. Studios like to sweep that shit under the rug quick
Right.
because it makes them look bad. But I'm saying, but what makes you look worse is that you don't even acknowledge them.
Yeah,
Right.
the comparison of like
Right.
they're walking like
Like Brad Pitt dies.
Hemsworth is Brad Pitt dies.
They're not going to sweep that under the rug.
No,
But if Brad Pitt's double does, they're like, well, nobody needs to know that. And it's
Right.
like, why?
It
Like,
doesn't
why
make-
though?
It doesn't make sense.
No.
because now with everything that happened from the Helena, what's her?
I
Sorry.
do remember her name, but like
Yeah, that
Adam
shooting,
Baldwin situation.
that
Yeah,
whole
the
situation
yes.
has made set life. Everybody re-examine it, and it's like, no, this has been here since like Buster Keaton,
Yep.
motherfuckers. Like, we're not talking about stunt double in that aspect being 20, 30 years old, right? With
Also,
the
do you guys-
evolution of film, we're talking about talkies.
Yep.
Like the evolution of talkies and silent film. Like,
I'm just curious. I don't know if either of you know, but like the director got shot too. Is he directing the movie still?
I think that movie's shelved.
no,
Well,
they're
they
shooting.
resumed
Still out
production.
there?
Yeah,
Resumed, like,
they
2 weeks
resumed.
ago.
Called
Yeah.
Dust or something.
Rust. Yeah.
Rust.
But, so I just thought about that because the director,
Better name
like
Gunpowder.
the director,
Fuck.
got shot.
Yeah.
Like the bullet went through his shoulder and hit her. So I'm like, is
Oh,
he back
right.
directing this movie?
Was it? Did he get shot first, or did she get shot?
I
No,
think
from
what
the
he
way it was
said,
described,
yeah. Okay.
is it went through his shoulder
shot
and
her.
then went
Dexter, did you do a blood
right into
spatter
her chest.
analysis?
Well, I read it because I was very like, I hope the people
was-
that are responsible get in trouble for
Totally.
this because like
It
someone
was
died.
nuts. Like, it is one of those like that's
It's horrible.
insane.
Like people still quote The Crow, but like in that defense, at least that was over like 30 years ago.
Right.
That's a
But
good record,
happening
yeah.
now again?
Yeah.
I know that's the crazy part.
That's what is like. ugh.
like, oh man.
And then I love how it's all about was he holding on? I'm like, bottom line was, yeah, he held, and like I don't truly believe that guns will go off on their own. I don't understand the science behind it. I need to be explained how
As
that happens.
The news that I read, because I'm wondering where this will fall. I'm wondering if this is going to fall on the armorer or if this is going to fall on the actual trigger pull. But
I think it fell
the-
on the AD. Unfortunately, I
And
think
the armor. I know the
and
armor
the-
is
that
all
what it
mad
is?
shit
Yeah.
still.
well,
But as head producer and someone who's supposed to be in charge of making sure everything is safe and whatnot, Alec can't just go free. That's ridiculous.
I don't think he is. Like, I think he's in jail.
well, he's
or
no, he's
something,
they're
or what
not.
happened?
The charges got dropped.
I don't have
against
enough
him.
to really comment
No, I don't either.
on
Yeah.
that at the
The
moment.
charges got dropped against him. That's
Okay.
what now they're looking at the armor.
Stunts.
Stunts.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry,
that's
yeah,
okay.
sorry. That's
Tangent.
me. Sorry.
Like Ian favorite stunt. Let's just move this along.
Go right into it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I rewatched it. It's Fallout.
It's the jump.
Mission Impossible Fallout. I don't even know if it's the jump. Like, the jump is probably like in the same category. It's that entire movie in a way, but the jump. Tom Cruise, I think 20 minutes in, jumps out of a plane. The way they shot that is all just like camera guy jumped with him. Tom Cruise had to find how to
Oh,
control
the
his-
Halo jump.
The Halo jump had to control himself.
Oh yeah.
And the focus puller was also jumping and was like following focus on Tom. Like, it's insane that this worked. But The true one is I love that running scene over the rooftop where Tom
leg
Cruise,
break.
where Tom Cruise eventually broke his leg on one of the jump, and they used that take in the film. But that fucking running chase scene is like I think my favorite part of the entire
Nobody
movie.
runs like Cruise.
No.
It's something about that.
It's like,
That scene is so good.
and
It
they
is.
know, and like, who is it that's like been teaming up with him?
Simon
McQuire?
Pegg. Oh,
No,
Christopher McQuarrie.
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 McQuarrie?
Yeah.
He knows Cruise so well.
Yeah,
So
they're
the way
buds
he
now,
frames him when he's running, I'm like, this is the perfect specimen to run.
Yes.
Like, this is the perfect
He runs.
way
He runs
to
like,
run. If I was ever to teach you the perfect way to run, it's Tom Cruise.
You know when they
He seems to run like an
I
athlete.
want to know his shoes. He's not wearing runners.
No, there's like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
in Rocky 4, you know when they're doing like the
montage?
the montage of the analysis of Ivan
Yes.
Drago,
Yeah.
Yes.
and he's like robotic and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine Tom Cruise is like. He just runs like a perfect animatronic.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you put in all of the perfect movements to run a human as fast as possible, his body is built to just naturally do that with a huge ass bubble butt. Like it's so fucking weird. I don't
Yeah.
know how many squats that man does a day.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to his ass. I'm sorry. Like
Dude
That's
has
America's
like
ass.
a great body. Like when I rewatch
Especially when he's 56.
for 60.
well, like
he's
when I
all-
rewatch Rogue Nation,
50.
and he's like shirtless and has that fight scene,
Yeah,
like
in the prison.
shirt and shoeless, in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
prison,
yeah.
Is I'm like Jesus, and then like you even see him in Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah.
shirtless, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude still holds in
Yeah.
his own. Like obviously he's older, but like, fuck,
Oh,
he looks
if
pretty
I
good.
looked that age, or if I looked that good now, I
Yeah,
told Bloody I
like-
would never wear a shirt.
Dude.
Ever.
dude got
I
Connolly,
would go to
man.
church with no shirt on, and I don't go to church.
Yeah, he would,
So, like, that tells you something.
You would believe in God because he helped you.
Yeah.
She got you there.
Yeah, okay, I'll go next. You know what? Mine, like honestly, I it's not a crazy one, but it's just one where I know that it's the running scene. It's another running scene. It's the James Bond sequence in Casino Royale
Yeah.
when the parkour,
Yes.
Oh, that whole
initial-
fucking thing is
Fuck.
wild.
the crane running,
So
and
good.
breaking
Yeah.
through the walls,
Yeah.
and like him, like there's the dive through scene, and then
Yeah.
just he comes
Fuck.
through the wall. That kind of beating on your body to be able to take those hits. Even we know that those are padded. Even
Yep.
but, like you're still falling, you're still running, but to do parkour as one of your first stunts. As the new Bond,
Yeah.
that was pretty insane.
It was
that was
it
a
was
big
sh-
undertaking.
It was the first action scene of that
Yeah.
movie, and it's so shocking how they introduce it.
It's,
Like,
also
nuts.
it's also the first time we've ever seen Bond do
Run.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that.
it's true. Yeah,
He's
Bond
usually
doesn't
the guy
get-
that's like, oh, I'll cut through here and I'll just meet him at the top.
Yeah.
Or
The-
like take the elevator
and the
up,
intro
right?
of that movie is a little more traditional. If you remember, the intro starts with him.
Black and
it's
white.
black and white.
Yes.
And he
Beautiful.
just has kind of like this, like
He's
like
getting
very,
his 00.
Yeah, he gets his
How many
00
kills do you
status
need for 00 status? I heard it was 2.
Dude, that was one of my
Is that what they say in
favorite.
it? Oh, fuck.
That was one of my favorite turn to the screen because he actually needs to.
I
'Cause remember the guy
know!
comes back
Yes,
alive.
and he-
Well, in that side shot, when
Yeah.
it's like from down
Yeah.
here, and he's got
and
the
it, was,
gun
and it made
pointed.
sense because the
Yeah.
guy's down, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Nah, fuck,
No,
beautiful,
that-
man.
PC7, baby.
That's right.
that
That's right.
stunt. And I mean, there's
That's a
tons
good
of
one.
other ones, but
That's a
like
really good
I,
That's a very good one.
I really do remember that being like, this is not my mother's Bond.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
when they intensified the violence and intensified the insanity
Ro-
of an older
Yeah.
man, right?
Yeah.
Like not a 25-year-old.
Rope to the balls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
To the
everybody.
left. To the left.
I'm gonna tell everybody you itched my balls.
Yeah. The fact, like, oh,
So good.
yeah, that was great, man.
But
The
it's-
Sheaf too, great villain, great fucking villain.
Yeah,
villain.
it's one of those things. As soon as you say, I'm like, fuck yeah, it's such a good movie, good action
Good
scenes.
stunt.
Like the action scenes in the movie hold up now.
They do.
And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a
And
good
who was
movie in
that?
general.
That was fuck.
Oh, Martin. His last name, the guy who, like the
Sam-
director.
Yeah.
It was the guy who did GoldenEye. He directed GoldenEye as
It
well.
is.
Martin
You're right.
Campbell.
Martin
That's
Campbell,
it. Thank you,
yes.
Martin Campbell.
He also did the Green Lantern, unfortunately.
Oh,
Wow, really? I didn't know
did.
that.
not for Ryan.
That's why he will never. That's why I don't think he's ever done a big studio movie since.
And he's done other good.
He did The
movies.
Foreigner.
The Foreigner
with Jackie
Jackie Chan.
He did.
I think he also.
I want to know what love is.
It's Jackie Chan
You
trying
say
to
foreigner.
become part of the foreigner.
Charles, what's your favorite stunt?
It's a great one. Okay, so the first one that always comes to mind, like there's two big ones from Jackie. Jackie Chan's my guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's my
the
guy.
Godfather.
So the first big one is Drunken Master when he fucking runs over the coals.
The
When
fire.
he goes, man.
Very good.
Because he like really burnt his fucking hand. He fucked himself up.
He trips
on that.
at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Jesus doesn't carry you the rest of the way?
Yeah. No, and I'm pretty
I
sure
thought if you believed,
And also, I'm pretty sure the Hong Kong industry works very different from America. I don't think he got like insurance.
Dude, I
don't
watched
think that's a thing.
The outtakes of
I
that
watched
one
the
part.
Hong Kong construction industry is
Oh,
used
yeah.
as what not to do. at
What
work.
not to do, right?
So
yeah,
the film industry.
Yeah, I can't even
don't
imagine,
even.
right?
Yeah.
So that's like one of my old because that was one too. Like I saw it young. It was probably like 10, 11 years
Yeah.
old.
I
And that
remember it. Yeah.
That was the first one where I was like, a real man.
Yeah.
Like you realize it
It's
was like
fucking
that's not a movie.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the first times where I would like as a kid
The
I was
coals
even
break
like,
away like real
that's
coals.
not real.
Yeah.
And you can see him actually in pain.
In pain. Yeah. It's scary.
The other one, and I love too because they show the blooper and he ate shit
Yep.
a lot of times.
Yep.
Rush Hour 2 when he tucks in his stomach and goes through the
The
little
little
Yeah.
bank teller
Casino
fucking
thing.
window
Yep.
slot.
He slams and
And
gets
the one he got stuck and then he's like, help!
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, it's
on my
bad.
back
It's
diaphragm.
like, oh yeah, then he
arm,
broke his
yeah.
foot. Though he did
Oh,
one where
yeah.
his foot
Oh, he
just hit the
clipped?
side
Yeah.
and he
Oh.
broke. And then that's when, just like Rumble in the Bronx, they gave him a slip-on for his cast because
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so Rumble in the Bronx, one of the coolest bloopers, and Jackie Chan is known for doing this. They actually, it's funny, they made a little mini doc on YouTube you can watch. There's a whole team that has, a designer team that has, because of Jackie Chan and other stunt people, they've learned how to put clothes over casts. They did it for Tom Cruise when he broke his foot.
They also did it for
Oh.
Jeremy
So-
Renner in Tag.
In Tag, yeah. When he broke, when he
Double
ate
arm
shit.
cast.
Yeah.
In Tag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he fucked up a stunt and,
And
ate
then
shit.
and then they green screened his cast.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh,
wherever
I
there
see,
wasn't
I see,
movement,
I
they
see.
added to it, but he did the whole rest
Yeah,
of the film.
and
that
in
way.
Rumble in the Bronx, you
Wow.
see Jackie, he takes the sock, and it's like this giant sock, but when he slips it on, it looks like a fucking sneaker, and it tucks into the jean.
I think
And
I remember
and
this.
And this is
Yeah.
like practical effect. They didn't
Wow.
do... So from far... so they made sure not to film close up, like it's always like above his knee.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the wide shots, it just looks like kind of a little fat sneaker, but you can't really
He's so
tell.
goddamn
So
cool.
yeah, he's the coolest,
He's the
right?
coolest.
Well, yeah, because he was
Trickery.
like, he used
Cool
to tell,
dad.
he would tell them, he's like, look, I'm gonna do these stunts, and they'd be like, Jackie, like, what happens? And he's like, oh no, I've estimated for all that. I already talked to the design team. If I break anything, we can put it over a cast. I'm not going to delay filming. And he never, ever delayed
What
filming.
was the
for
ladder?
anything.
There was a ladder sequence in one of the movies, whether it's Super Cop or something. It's. I remember that one being very
that.
good.
It might be that Three Strikes because isn't it a helicopter?
Oh,
Isn't
man,
it
no,
something
I
like?
think it's in a warehouse. And he has like a helicopter. He's flipping it.
Yeah,
And he like crushes his fingers at one point, and he's like,
it fell
"Fuck!"
back.
Yeah, like it looks so painful.
Can't think
Yeah,
of a better
he-
place to start with the list because
Yeah.
he's number one.
Oh, he has to be like him, and he, Jet Li. Like without Jackie Chan, you wouldn't have had like Jet Li come out.
150 films.
Really?
Co-founded the Jackie Chan stunt team in '76
Yeah.
with 5 fellow
And-
martial artists. I saw a
And
documentary
he uses
about
that's
that.
right, and he uses them all for all his movies. It was the Jackie Chan stunt team because they were the only group that knew him and he trusted, and it was like a universal understanding. Like they knew, like when Jackie was like, "I want to run over coals," that team would be like, "Yeah, okay, we'll make it work." He's nuts, man. Like yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, he smashed his foot, and then he got that cast and filmed, and he didn't delay filming. Oh, Micheal, yo,
Yeah, she did
hell
well.
yeah, man.
That's why she's all
hell
like,
yeah.
"Don't fuck with me or I'll fuck you up."
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't know she did her own stunts.
So hang
Fuck
on here.
yeah.
Michelle Yeoh is one of the finest actresses of her generation, known among colleagues as one of the nicest and hardest working women in Hollywood
Hell yeah.
and Hong Kong cinema. Yeoh's recent Academy Award for the Daniels Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeoh has also starred alongside the legendary action star
Yeah.
Jackie Chan in Police Story 2, Super Cop, and Super Cop
did her
2.
stunts there, hey?
However, fans of Yeoh's work, particularly Americans, recognize most from Ang Lee's 2000 Wuxia adventure film, Crouching
yeah.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Of course, with Chow Yun-fat. Yeah, no, she does. She's trained in
Wow.
like a bunch of different styles.
Well,
of
she
fighting.
has some badass action scenes in both those Super Cops, and I now realize that's fucking her doing it.
Well, and like
that's awesome.
I don't have this. I don't want to have this conversation. Like, you know, there's obviously more men stunt workers than there are women.
Yeah,
That probably isn't
Or at
male
least-
toxicity thing.
Yeah, men at least are seen. It seems like they're spotlighted more.
But
in this
I
industry than
always
females.
commend when the women want to do their own stunts. I know what they're already in an industry where they're less than.
Yeah,
But having to
yeah.
then work your way into the stunt community,
Yeah.
which is predominantly, I would say, 80% male.
I know,
if I was to take a guess.
Charlize Theron, I believe, she at least try. She wants to. She takes the initiative to try the stunt before she insists. Like,
Sure, yeah.
Like for Mad Max, she tried, and I'm pretty sure I think they said like
She tried the arm.
she did, and she. Yeah,
It's a little
she
tight,
did.
don't want it anymore.
She did most of her own. Like you know, in Fast and the in Fast and Furious movies, she has some pretty insane fight scenes. So I'm wondering if like that's her
Sure.
or like.
We're at
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh.
She's on the list, by the way.
Charlize?
I don't know where she is on the list. Whether
Oh,
she-
okay, so she does. Okay.
I don't know.
Ah.
Sorry, she could be on the other side of the list.
Oh,
There's
I
two
see what you mean.
lists.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Nah,
I see what you
Tom
mean.
Cruise is next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I mean, we know. We don't-
Especially in
the
the
best.
last like 10 years.
He's the best.
I heard he did his own bottle spinning and cocktail. No,
He did.
Yeah.
He did actually.
Yeah,
he did.
of course
He
he
did.
would.
Yeah.
Of course he would.
But I'm trying to make that a stunt because he would.
But how funny is this? Top Gun 1, he's using like, you know, the set plane and he's like
Right.
filming in the studio. Fucking Top Gun 2, he's like, "Oh, I'll bring my own plane."
I'm gonna learn how to fly.
And I'll supply my own
He
jet.
learned how to drop that helicopter in Fallout.
Yeah.
To do like the multi-spin thing, and only 8 people in the world can do that.
Did you guys see when he got like he took James Corbin? Is that his Corbin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah.
took him
Muppet
and did
yeah.
a dogfight
It's
with like a
crazy.
fucking World War II plane.
I
and he's
fucking
like,
hate James
"Haha."
Corden, but that is a
Yeah,
very
think
good
but that's
video.
the one.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch that.
I'll
for
watch
sure.
that shit all
Yeah.
day.
I think it was.
And he's
three-
like, "You're my goose." He's like, "Goose dies." He's like, "Yeah, but at the end."
I think it was
Good.
3 G's that he pulled on.
Yeah,
Corbin.
yeah.
That's
and
a
he
lot
told,
of
And he
Gs.
said he told him that the plane couldn't do it. So he's like, "Don't worry, we're going
Is
in
it
this plane."
Scientology? Like, what makes him? Like, I don't know.
Oh, it's definitely some of that.
Next on the
Hey!
list, Jeremy Renner does his own stunts.
Wow.
Interesting. Celebrated for his
I don't know.
notable wielding
That is
marksman hero,
interesting,
Hawkeye.
I heard he. Yeah.
Fan favorite franchises as well as known action movies like SWAT and the Bourne Legacy and Mission Impossible series. It may be surprising to hear Renner injured himself shooting the comedy flick Tag, having fractured his right elbow and left wrist after falling 20 feet.
I don't remember him in SWAT, but okay.
He was
Yeah, he ends up being the bad guy.
he's the bad guy.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
he ends up
you're
turning
right.
on
You're
Colin
right.
Farrell.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the SWAT guy who
Him
got
and Colin
kicked
Farrell are
out.
best friends.
Right.
And then he got
I forgot
he
about
ends up
that.
being the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
evil guy. He's like
I remember
it's
really
like the town.
loving SWAT.
I saw that movie twice at the cheap seats when it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like twice in theaters.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Aeon
okay, she
Flux,
is.
right?
There she
That's
is.
right. I forgot
Charlize
about that.
Theron, Fate and the Furious. There you go, Charles. The Old Guard. She also. I love the Old
Oh, I
Guard.
haven't seen that yet.
great.
I
thought-
heard it was really good. I,
I
haven't
thought
seen
they were
it.
doing a sequel.
Apparently, they
It's-
announced they are.
It's
Yeah.
being held, I think,
Okay.
but yeah. No, I'm glad she does. She. I
Is
mean,
that
I've
a Netflix movie?
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
is
Very
okay.
good.
I'm gonna
very,
check
very
it out.
good.
I
Definitely
have
watch it. Based on a
always
comic.
sworn by. I would.
Oh, I
like,
love her?
I would probably get hard if she beat the shit out of me. Like I
Yeah.
would love to be.
Oh my
beaten
God.
She
up.
invented
Or
a
just
fear
in
boner or like a
Like-
murder
yeah,
boner.
like a fear bone. Exactly.
Can I
Yeah.
get like
She'd
one
hit
of the
me, and I
best-
would be like, "Can I have another?"
Have you seen what's the
Oh,
movie where
please.
she's the president and Seth Rogen?
Oh, that was a great one.
There's a
Oh,
scene
he's
in-
a writer. He
Yeah.
like
He's the
writes
writer.
her.
He's a journalist, right?
That's
and
good.
they end up
She
dating.
writes speeches for.
Yeah,
her.
and
But
they
there's
end up
like
falling for
there's
her.
a scene on
Yeah.
YouTube you can find. It's on like TikTok, but like they have sex for the first time, and she's like so dom, and
Yeah.
he's so taken back by it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's because she's the president.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
it's
Sign me
so
up.
funny. It's one of those
it's
like
actually, it's
I know.
actually a pretty good movie too.
It's a
yeah.
very
yeah,
good
it's good.
Love my
Yeah.
wife,
Me and
but
Claudia
sign
watched
me
it.
up to
Yep.
get the shit kicked. I will get into a
dude.
fucking fight with her. any
She's
day.
the fucking reason I went and saw the Fast and the Furious with the submarine.
I only.
So I was like, this looks horrible.
I
She's
went
in
because
it.
of those dreads.
I went.
Oh yeah,
because
that's right.
Her look in that one. Oh my!
Yeah, that's right. That
she's
is the one.
so
yeah.
bad in that one.
And she's so
She's
South
bad in all
African.
of them.
she's in
but-
she's in the new one too. I
Oh yeah,
believe.
she is. She fights Michelle Rodriguez.
Right.
I'm not surprised Jason Statham does
No.
his own stunts. Most
No.
martial artists tend to
Yeah.
because they know the.
I think
motions.
Transport because it's funny, right? This guy was actually Guy Ritchie's little muse for a bit,
I know.
and then he turned into Transporter.
I always say that.
overnight.
Remember when he oiled his body and has that fight in
yeah,
the first one?
yeah,
It's
and he
so
and he has
funny.
the bike.
He has the
takes
bike,
that bike,
yeah.
like
Fuck,
guys-
that first transport is
You're
so
leaving.
good.
the best.
You're leading with Transport. How about Crank?
oh yeah,
Fuck,
But
Crank's
you wouldn't-
so good.
but you wouldn't have Crank without Transporter.
You wouldn't, yeah.
But Transporter 1 has a soft spot in my heart. I think that movie's
yeah, I
a
agree.
masterpiece.
Agreed.
We
Crank-
Saw that in theaters too.
Crank was incredible.
Crank is amazing.
Crank
because
1 and 2.
Both
is
are
so good.
great. Both
and
are great.
there should be a 3.
It's
and it
Dwight
doesn't exist.
Yoakam that really makes the fucking movie.
Oh
Is
my
this
god!
dog.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
about
right?
that. Yeah.
Oh, by
Chip
the
Chalaos.
way,
The insane doctor.
those directors that directed the first 2 Cranks directed the second Ghost Rider with Nick Cage, and it's amazing.
Really?
Okay.
It's really good.
Is that where he
Interesting.
pees on
Crank.
somebody?
Yeah.
He pees on somebody and
He
lights them on
turns into
fire?
Ghost Rider and he's chugging
Oh, yeah.
fucking whiskey.
I've seen that in the trailer.
And then he
yeah.
flamethrowers melts
Yeah.
this dude. And while he's doing it, he looks back at the camera and is like, doing like,
So good.
it's Crank meets Ghost Rider and Nick Cage. So it's
Also,
amazing.
Do you think the shark in Meg does its own stunts
Yeah.
with Jason?
Did you guys
Is he-
see the latest trailer where he puts
I have not, and I haven't seen the first Meg, but I really do.
I
wanna
saw
see
the
it.
poster for it,
It's hilarious.
but he's like kicking
On a
back
dock.
on
It
a
looks
dock.
fun and dumb.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
the
it's
first
a
one is,
getaway.
you know what it
That's
is?
all
It's
I'll
a
watch it.
Hollywood made, like,
fine.
Sharknado if Hollywood made
I
it.
watched Ghosting on
Oh, I know.
Apple TV. I'm like, I
Any
can
good?
do no.
Okay.
Of course not.
He Keanu. I mean, I
Keanu.
knew he did most of his fight scenes, but I didn't know he did most of his stunts. To be honest with
Does
you,
he do all his stunts in Dracula?
Uh,
Can you take me to the castle?
I need a biter.
And Johnny,
Bring my biter.
and Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh my god, so good. Dolph Lundgren's my favorite villain in that. Sorry.
Speed, The Matrix. Like, yeah. Again, I just assumed the fight sequences were where it stopped, right? Because he's
Yeah.
wired in The Matrix,
yeah.
right? A lot of that stuff.
But he did but I get it. Like he learned like kung fu,
Yeah.
you know, like
You know
he
what? I'm
learned all these
limiting-
different
yeah.
martial arts.
Yeah,
so
I'm
He
limiting-
saved 3 months of like training.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
limiting the idea because I've done this before. Like if someone needs to fall or if someone is jogging, you need a stunt double, right?
Yeah.
You're stunting.
yeah.
So I always equate it to, if you're not fighting in a scene, but there might be something you need a stunt double for.
Yeah.
Then they put him in, but I confuse the two too much.
Right.
I'm a fucking layman. But yeah, Harrison, fuck off. Harrison
Yeah,
Ford.
but again, watch, read the stunts. It's like, yeah, he did actually swing on the rope across like that. Yeah,
Hang
that's
on.
stunt.
He
Hang
was
on
on
here.
he was on a horse in Last Crusade.
He
Oh,
was,
yes,
but
yeah.
I think this one actually does pull to. He did do his own run for the boulder. Hang on here.
Oh, in the Raiders of the
Of
Ark.
course.
yeah,
he did.
I heard he gets hurt more crashing planes than he does on movie
Yeah.
sets.
Like
Yeah.
I
Or the Millennium Falcon door fell on him
Guys,
and he got hurt.
I've been watching the making of like Batman '89 and Batman Return. I don't know.
so
These
good.
like hour and a half long
so
featurettes
good.
on YouTube, and watching like Michelle Pfeiffer learn
The
to use
cat
the
whip
whip.
moment.
Dude,
Yeah,
how good
like-
and everyone on set is
It's
like,
like holy
"Woo!"
shit, and then she skips away, and they're like,
Yeah.
amazing.
right? And that's her
Yeah.
just
That's a one-take whip
That's
crack.
a one
Dude,
take fucking
that,
whip.
and when you watch it in the movie, now you just are
And
like,
see-
that is
Yeah.
one of those moments where everyone
Yeah.
in the room is like, that was witnessing
Well,
magic.
and that's
Everything coming together,
Yeah.
just perfect.
Yep.
that's when
She's my
she's
favorite
like,
Catwoman.
do I do
She's
this?
so
do
hot.
I
She's the best Catwoman.
She's so
do I
good.
get a stunt? Do I not? Like, and yeah, okay, we're talking about the '90s, the Maverick era of filmmaking,
Yeah.
where like it just
Yeah.
went off the rails, and people, nobody didn't sign anything. They
Literal
can do it.
rails.
Yeah, literal rails on and off repeatedly. But like for her to be like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, like the cojones, the fear. I mean, it's a stunt. It's a set up action that could go south fast.
Yep.
I also
Right?
just love, like, and I've always said, like, I just love when actors are like, I'm already Catwoman. Why wouldn't I do my own stunts at
Right,
this point?
right.
Like, I'm already playing this character that I'm wearing, like, it's, ridiculous circumstances. I'm wearing this unitard. I'm this other alter ego. Why wouldn't I at least try and
Right.
do it?
Sure, yeah.
Right? Because there's some actors
And
who are
when
like,
you're like,
nope,
I'm out.
not
Right.
even willing, send
Yeah.
in my dub,
I
right?
want to go back to my trailer.
Right. But
right?
like Michelle Pfeiffer also too at that point in her career, very interesting. I don't think she had done a role like
No,
this.
that was.
But she treated it still like she would like. I love her Catwoman. I actually love the over the top like
Yep.
meow and
Yeah.
like the how she does it. I love her dialogue.
You love Tim Burton.
Oh,
Because Tim
I
Burton
know.
let her do that
Oh,
and
and-
didn't
and-
say no.
Well,
And you know what?
Batman
And good for him.
Returns is a Catwoman movie.
it totally
It
is.
is.
Like
Yeah.
Batman's very
And it's
little
about
movie.
Do you know what's a
I wanna
Catwoman
be
movie?
Batman, yeah.
Halle Berry's Catwoman. I can't say that
and
straight.
Sharon Stone.
Okay,
Yeah.
funny thing, Ryan Reynolds used to do his own stunts earlier, but now leaves them to the pros now.
So there you go.
Well,
So
yeah.
when he had to say yes, he said yes.
yeah, when he had no choice.
Any
But
person that
like
is
Safe
in a,
House is the one they're referencing was his last one.
Oh, he did his
before
stunts. That was a good
Wow.
He
movie.
fractured his vertebrae and neck while filming it, and then was like,
Oh.
"I'm out."
That might be
well, I
me.
think he did some of his stunts in Blade Trinity or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
those,
you know.
those sword.
Be careful
moments.
with her because her fangs are located on her vagina.
And
That
remember
was
how
my favorite line in
Wesley
that movie.
Wesley Snipes hated him.
He hated him.
Yeah,
Oh, and
like,
you can
so
tell in
you
the
can
movie
tell.
he fucking hates
That's
him.
his character. Though.
Yeah.
He's supposed to hate
Oh
him.
yeah, they did not get all. I
Oh.
heard the whole, but he said Wesley Snipes was a lunatic.
Of course,
He's
he
a.
is.
Did you hear all the horror stories about him on Demolition Man?
You know what movie I've never seen, but I've been watching a weird array
Dude,
of old
watch
movies.
Demolition Man.
I watched White Men Can't Jump for the
Oh,
first time.
great movie.
Great movie because the remake's.
I
coming
know,
out.
and I see the preview for the remake, and I'm like, kill me.
I'm kind of excited. For
I love the original so much.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's so. But have you seen Demolition?
I
Man?
will watch it.
Dude, it's
I'll
so
put it
good.
on the list.
So Wesley Snipes was so nuts on the on the filming of that. He insisted in doing his own stunts, but he can't. And they were like, so he's so crazy they would film
Oh, like
stunts with him.
yeah, and
then
then
when
redo
he
it.
went through, they would redo it with the stunt guy. And then when the final came out, it was all the stunt guy stunts because Wesley stunts were completely different than what were in the movie. And apparently, till this day, he's like, they still owe me money on that kind of thing. Like he's still.
He's
Well, that's
such
what
a
happens
dick.
if you go bankrupt.
Yeah,
You
that-
spend
that's
all your
also
blade
true, like-
money.
He
tax
hasn't paid
problems.
taxes for like
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
years.
We'll pay you
Like-
when you pay the man. You
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Just to speed things up
Sorry,
here.
but yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna
Hardy.
bump through a bunch of people here, but Tom Hardy and The Rock both do theirs. I get The Rock
I
does.
fucking hope the Rock. Who's going to be the Rock stunt?
If the
double?
Rock
A
goes
bear?
into his fucking trailer to do this and let someone else. I mean, he has one.
Yeah.
And the one he
does?
he does. I've
Yeah.
seen him.
Yeah.
So he's just another giant Hawaiian dude, or what?
He's very similar looking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, they have
But-
to be, right? Like,
And that's only because of the fact that if he goes down, he costs so much. I don't think it's not advantageous for the studio to let him do it anymore. But I mean, what do we got?
did the
here?
Mountain on Game of Thrones have a stunt double?
No, that was the Mountain.
That was the mountain.
Right? Because
Uh,
then imagine if he did we got to get a
big is this
bear.
guy? Yeah,
Like,
I
so we
think-
just get a bear.
exists, yeah.
CGI a bear.
Oh yeah, he actually didn't perform most of his stunts on The Mummy Returns. It was
Who, The Rock?
Actually, no.
Yeah,
He
they
was
would
still
be wrong
wrestling.
in assuming
he was still wrestling.
Yeah, hang on here. A professional
was a
athlete. Many
Scorpion
people
King.
would be wrong in
Yeah.
assuming he performs all
No,
of
he
his own
can't.
stunts.
He probably wasn't allowed.
I think you might have scrolled too far because there's a list where it goes people that don't do it. Like if you go back up, I think.
Oh,
there's-
so this might be the list where
I
they
think
don't
this-
do it.
Yeah, I think this.
Oh,
is like,
Sam Jackson definitely does.
keep
it.
going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah,
It's like starts with Ryan Reynolds, I thought, or like here.
Yeah,
actors
see,
that-
action stars who leave it to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
professionals.
Interesting.
Danny Trejo.
Okay.
Wow.
But okay,
He's old.
So Ryan Reynolds leaves it to the professionals.
right?
Sam
so does
Jackson-
The Rock, and obviously so does Tom
Yeah.
Hardy. Okay.
Sam Jackson, not a shocker.
No,
Liam Neeson,
But Sam
not a
Jackson,
shocker.
Sam Jackson and Liam Neeson are both aging out.
But I mean,
Tom
even-
Hardy and The Rock still have Tom Hardy, Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist, black belt in his
he
spare
doesn't
time.
do his own stunts.
I
The
think
Rock, professional athlete who got thrown around a ring for 20 years.
Think
See,
of
but
the-
that one makes sense because I think he was still wrestling during Mommy Returns, and he can't get hurt and then Impact Wrestling because he was there, John Cena at that time.
I feel like it's all the
So-
actors that were like that have like a mouth on them, like Ryan Reynolds, Drew Barrymore, like
Yeah.
you know, like they're more like
yeah, they can
talkers.
act.
They can act. You know,
like,
like
no offense to
yeah.
but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And they're also
Well,
like
and
when
that's
I'm
the
not
commodity
jumping off of-
versus the fear, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
you're
right.
a $50 million paycheck for us. You're not
Right.
fucking touching danger. Versus, you don't cost that much. So if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like delays, broken ribs. Like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise produces his own movies,
Right.
So,
and that's
he
what
takes on the risk of that.
exactly.
The Rock, as much as he says, Sixth Sense production or whatever does its own production, he's not on the lam
Well,
as much as Cruise is.
someone like Ryan Reynolds, like Tom Cruise, isn't doing rom-coms. He's not doing like a
Right.
period piece.
Edge
He's
of Tomorrow
really
is very
he's
rom-com-y.
really doing what
That
he
is true.
wants. It's like what you said. He's doing what he wants to do. But someone like Ryan Reynolds, after a Deadpool, he might have 2 rom-coms or something lined
fucking
up.
Red Notice.
Right? And then after that, if he gets hurt on that,
Yeah.
he might lose because rom-coms they can recast.
He's contracted,
Right? So
Yeah, that's why it's like even though
But yeah.
we've signed you, Mr. Craig.
sorry, Red Notice is not good. I didn't watch
I didn't
it.
watch it either.
I saw the trailer when
I
I saw
didn't
the
watch it
rocket
either.
hit by a
Did
bull.
you watch it?
No,
I
No
saw
one-
the rocket hit by a bull in the trailer, and I was like, what?
It's
I got enough of
It looks
Ryan
like
Reynolds
it's-
and Hobbs and Shaw.
It looks
It's
like it's 7 movies in one.
it's like Ghosted. Ghosted is like a made for like
It's an AI made movie.
Yeah, like I had
Oh.
COVID and I watched it.
It's a movie?
Can I spoil?
Sure,
Ghost
go
Story?
ahead.
When I
So-
read the premise, I was like,
So garbage movie. It's about whatever. Like Anna de Armas is like a spy and dates Chris Evans, who's like it's Notting
The
Hill. but,
damsel
like,
in distress flipped.
But yes, but there's one
Lame.
sequence halfway through the movie that everyone like it's kind of like a spoiler, where all these hitmen are coming after to kill them, and the first hitman shows up, and who is it?
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
No, it's Anthony Mackie. Oh no, sorry, yeah, it's Anthony Mackie. So it's Falcon.
oh my god, Falcon.
Yeah.
To his fucking
But then,
Captain
God,
America.
but then a car comes and hits him, and it's John Cho. And then
Come
John
on.
Cho gets shot by Bucky.
No.
And then Anthony Mackie comes back and kills Bucky.
That is
So that's what the movie's for.
That is Tim Cook, and that is what's his dick at Disney. They're best fucking friends outside
So
of work.
that's the reason. That's
the
movie.
only reason. That 10-minute clip.
I'm gonna watch it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
That is Disney. That is Disney and the Apple relationship.
Well, yeah,
growing.
They
They will merge
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
You will see.
You guys
Oh,
really-
and
that's gonna
sorry,
happen?
and then
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds does show up in the end
in Ghosted.
in Ghosted.
Oh my god.
That is such cameo
Didn't he
garbage, but I would watch it anyway.
Oh no, it's
Bullet
never
Train.
mind. It Ted, but he never talks.
Oh.
That's why he didn't. He just dropped in. He
Right.
didn't even get paid because he doesn't talk.
Remember
he
when
just
he's Pikachu?
goes, yeah. Oh, I hated
Anyways,
that.
uh,
Hated that
let's
ending. I liked the movie until then.
I agreed. I like that movie.
let's talk about dystopian
Black
future.
Mirror. Baby.
Let's talk about the now instead of the future.
Yeah.
Um,
Terrifying
Black Mirror,
now?
baby.
yeah, let's talk about reflections in the dark mirror of our future. I just caught this like a week ago that Black Mirror is now premiering in June. I think it's like the middle of June it's going to premiere.
Yeah, and I think he did a typical
and,
Charlie Broker style, like "What up?"
and-
He they didn't even say they were making a season. He just dropped a trailer.
Yeah,
and
That's
Exactly.
how they've been doing
That's
it.
what
for
the-
whatever.
You
that's
know
his
it's-
style.
You
That's
don't
his
know
style.
if it's coming, but you know it's coming.
Apparently, that's what he did on the BBC, and that was part of the contract. Is he wanted to keep the theme, like, because BBC he did no marketing. It would be like a month before people would see the Black Mirror poster on subways and be like, "Huh?"
That's
and that's, like,
that's
what
the
he continues.
ether marketing shit,
Yeah,
right?
And it suits Black Mirror, right?
It does.
Like,
a
yeah.
cracked mirror on a
Yeah.
black background with that logo.
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I didn't
how
know
did
what
you-
that name meant for the longest time. By the way,
What
Black Mirror. Like I
Oh.
didn't know what it meant
Yeah.
for the longest
And
time.
then the smash in like every
yeah.
episode.
I had no idea. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Xbox.
What did you guys?
Red Rings of Death.
I'm going to tell you a story. Sit around the fire. This is when Shauna had her house still in Windsor Park, and I was taking a shower. I remember this distinctively because I was so shocked by what I saw.
I don't know what's
I took a shower. I came out, and she was like, "You need to watch this show with me." And I was like, "What is it?" She's like, "It's on the BBC, and it's this weird show called Black Mirror." And I was like, "Okay, what's it about?" She's like, "These weird things that happen to people." And I'm like, "You're not selling this."
Twilight
I
Zone.
love it.
You know,
I love it.
and she
Yeah.
was like, "It's like they're not all the same. Each one's a different story, right?" Because she doesn't talk nerd like we do.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, fine, let's try it." And I was shown the very first episode,
National
the
Anthem.
national anthem.
Oh,
So this is when it was still on BBC.
Yes, on
Which is
So,
a very
yeah.
tamed episode.
It's
in
a
my opinion.
very tamed
compared to
episode.
all of them,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But-
it's fucked.
All she told me was, she said, "This episode is about a man and a pig." and I went, "Okay, fine."
That's great.
And that's all I had. And this wild, insane ride of the prime minister having to fuck a pig to save a member of the royal family that turns out to be way fucking darker than you ever thought.
Yeah.
Like, I was glued. I was like, where is this shit, and why haven't
And-
I had this in
and-
my life?
We're
Always.
spoiling it, correct?
That's fine.
And it ends up being
There's 5 fucking years of the show.
It,
Spoiler.
it,
alert.
ends, it ends up
it's a
being
hoax.
a host. Right?
A hoax.
It's a
like
prank.
The princess is completely
Isn't it
fine.
like an
Nothing's
art,
wrong with
it's
it.
an art piece in the end?
Yeah, sorry. It's what's that guy? who-
Banksy.
It's a Banksy
Like ish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like if it's basically him saying, "What if Banksy did something like with
Insane.
technology in Black Mirror?"
It's
style?
the
'Cause
painting
that's
on
what
the
it is.
Gaza Strip.
Because the
where
last
it
shot
was-
is the
yeah.
princess getting. The princess was just held in 48 hours from the media and
Right.
the internet.
Yeah,
She
there
was
was
just
something
like,
had happened.
She was like
Yeah.
COVID training.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
She
Very much
disappeared
so.
for 48 hours, but she
Fuck.
had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
But
then, yeah.
that showing of YouTube,
Yeah.
the live streaming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the era, like that was already. We were just getting into that,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
now we are hard. Like
Yep.
And
PewDiePie
also-
gets in shit for streaming now, and it's
Yeah.
like this is exactly what
It
was in that
also-
episode
it also-
before we even got here.
It really felt like a crisis team dealing.
Yes.
Like it really felt like
Trying
like
to
the West
fake
Wing.
it.
Yeah.
Like it was like a real like what
do we
would
do?
a crisis
What
team
do we do? Does he
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
the
yeah.
if
pig?
they were put in this scenario?
Does he not
Because
fuck the pig?
Yeah.
and you have that part where they're all in the room discussing it, and like people are crying
fake the
because
pig.
they're like, this
Yeah,
is-
yeah, yeah.
right?
Bring in a fake pig,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "We'll know if you're fucking a fake
That's
pig." And
right.
it's like, how will you know the difference
That's
between
right.
fake pig ass
Yeah.
and real pig ass?
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then you're like, "Will he do it? Will he not do it?"
And then
Is
that
this gonna
becomes the
happen?
episode. Part of it is like, is he going to do
Is
it?
he actually
You,
Yeah.
you become the people
The
watching,
audience watching.
the audience
Yeah.
watching him.
Like, can I vote in? Can I vote in right now?
Yeah, do I get a say in this?
yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that was my introduction, and it was on like a cheap streaming box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
illegally from
Oh, yeah.
England.
So what, 2011, I think it was?
like super early, and they had like 2 seasons out.
That's and again, this is BBC, so one season is just 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That's one.
It's very small.
It's a series.
Yep.
Series
Sherlock.
one.
It's artistic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not
long
it's not
episodes though.
very long.
Like hour.
Oh yeah.
And
They're like
minutes,
short films.
Yeah,
You know,
what was yours?
My episode.
Your episode.
Like the one that really hooked me in was season 1, episode 2. 15 million merits.
Oh, the cycle.
It's with the actor from Get Out. I can't remember.
Oh,
his
and Nope.
name. In Nope, Daniel
Kaluuya.
Kaluuya. I think and basically it's like the futuristic. They pedal bikes
For credits.
For credits.
Yeah.
And then eventually
That entertained them.
Yes, and they basically go on like an America's Got Talent show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have to like perform, and he goes up and tries to kill himself essentially by the end of it.
Yeah, because
And-
the idea is that if you win it, you don't have to cycle anymore.
Yes, but
That's- yeah.
he gets enough credits to do that. But he like
And he starts to form a relationship with another girl. Who's
Yeah.
doing,
cycling next to him.
Yeah, and she's singing.
She gets on the show.
She gets on the show. Yeah,
Right.
But they're
And
like
it's emojis.
and they're like drugging her to keep her like
Sorry,
a
why is
bear.
this
It's
your
like a
favorite
joke-
episode?
sorry.
sorry. I just think it's like a very like it was one of those ones where I'm like, it was so outside. Especially you went from National Anthem, the first one, which is
Yeah.
what you described, which was like a political drama, is
Yeah.
how I took it as.
Yes.
To this one that was like so left field.
Yeah.
That was like where it's so
There's nothing congruent.
No, it's so art designed in this like weird like just black universe where
Mm-hmm.
everyone lives in studios, like black studio. It's so well made. I'm like, wow, these are very different episodes. That it just kind of hooked me in after that, and then I just continued on. I'll let Charles.
Did you
go,
find
but,
it before Netflix or after Netflix?
I found it during Netflix.
Okay.
So when season 2 happened is when I discovered it. Though I've like as soon as I found out about it, I was like, I have to
Give me
find
more.
out. Yeah, like Charlie Brooker.
Yeah, Charlie,
Brooker?
broker.
Anyways, I started like just deep diving
English.
his
I
stuff.
got it. It'll be here. And
Um,
this is the only stuff he's ever really done.
Yeah,
He's done a few other things that
Brooker.
are just like
Charlie
Brooker.
Brooker.
Charlie Brooker.
a friend and I have studied Black Mirror a lot because we have a show that was in development for years, still in development essentially, but it's an anthology show about the lottery and the dark side of winning the lottery.
Oh, cool.
And so we have like
Make
That's
that.
cool.
we've tried. It's the problem is when we did pitch it and stuff, it's a big idea show. It's
Right.
it's a unicorn show they
Right.
call it in the biz, where
Yes.
it's like
there's
too-
a lot of parties and
Yeah, it's too big of an idea. Like it's too cool. It totally makes
Your
sense.
cast is like 50 people.
Yeah,
over the
it's
course
you
of 10
just need the
episodes.
right network
just need
that's
that-
willing to be
yeah,
like, we
it's-
want our unicorn though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Because
Or
very
they
rare.
need their
Because
unicorn.
what studio doesn't want a unicorn
Exactly.
show for fuck's sake?
But we used a lot of Black Mirror examples,
Yeah.
like because
Yeah.
it was in that same world.
Dystopian.
Dystopian,
And it's a
darker
social
side.
commentary on
Technologically
something.
Exactly,
controlled.
about
social-
money
yeah,
and
totally.
like people's relationship with money.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yes, because of that, I know this show very well up until like probably the all
Nice.
5
It was your
seasons, 4 seasons.
muse.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie
so,
Brooker made a muse.
Speaking of Charlie Brooker,
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
got that.
so a buddy of mine, after same thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't on Netflix yet. It was just BBC because I remember like early days when Pirate Bay was still the go-to of just.
still my go-to.
Oh, I still use it, but I remember combing it because I had to not even get. This wasn't even you could get a season
You went
as
deep
one
into the
file.
seeds, didn't
you had
you?
to get each individual
Yeah,
episode.
you
Yeah,
could.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like,
you couldn't S2
Yeah,
that
yeah.
no,
shit.
I had like fucking
Huzzah.
IMDb.
No,
I had an IMDb episode list here,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Right.
making
Copy
sure I'm
paste.
getting the
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
episodes.
Seeds up. Yeah.
Because some
Oh,
pirates,
seeds. Yeah.
some pirates take pride in their work and they put the episode
I know,
title
they're
and the
so
season and
nice.
whatnot, and
Yeah.
other ones are just like,
Yeah.
And you
Black
appreciate
Mirror.
that. Yeah. Black Mirror
S01
what?
S01E.01.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We're
so
horrible.
I was same thing. He showed me. But the way my buddy pitched it was he showed me National Anthem and was like, if you like that, you'll love this show. So, and I loved it in
This
a
is
horrifying
national
way.
treasure.
Yeah.
Did it
Um,
did it get at you? Did you
So,
feel awkward?
You know what it was? I never got into The Outer Limits. I never
Oh.
got into Twilight Zone growing up, but I was into Crypt Keeper, but it was too scary. So I just watched
Scary.
the I
Not
just watched
scary.
I just
Scary.
watched the
Scary.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Too scary. I watched the cartoon, but I remember this was the first show that I was like, oh, I get the Outer Limits
Anthology.
Oh, I get why. I get it now.
A bunch of everything.
This is incredible
with nothing
Yeah.
in common,
and it keeps me up at night. And I got why Twilight Zone did that for a generation. Totally get it now.
The horror that is just woven through. And some of it's subtle, some of it's right in your fucking face.
He's also just an absolutely brilliant writer. Like
Yes,
he
agreed.
writes
Agreed.
every episode. I think some episodes he has co-writers.
I think there's
some he does on
I
his
think
own.
there's maybe, if I'm correct, 2 episodes he has a co-writer.
Right.
I think everything else
is
himself.
him.
Yeah.
So again,
Very
whereas
rare.
They're
Very
just
rare.
long vignettes.
all the other
which is in the
anthology
vignette.
shows I've looked at, like Twilight Zone and that, they have different teams
Yeah.
and writers.
Writer
with
rooms.
with a solid idea, like a
Yeah.
through line that
But
they're
like
told
every
to do.
episode is like it's like those crime like
it's
like
writer
a new-
rooms.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's neat about that
Love
too
writers.
is the fact that you have a head honcho always,
Yeah.
and it's his
It's like Mike
brainchild.
White with White Lotus, right?
Yeah, totally.
You get that consistency.
And what I love about it is every single episode is so different from each other, but they have that obvious central thing of technology. And what I love is every single episode is like, why it gets under your skin is you're like, we're either living that or it's gonna happen.
Yep.
There's never been an episode where I was like,
the-
that's not
It's not.
believable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Every
like,
episode
close
ends in a way
enough-
where I'm like, fuck.
close enough to home.
Yeah, like
I'm
around the
shit,
corner.
man.
Yeah.
Or like it's one of those things every episode ends where you're like, yeah, I could see someone
can see it.
doing that,
Yep.
or I could see people reacting that way, or
This
I
may
could see
happen.
someone thinking, yep, this is like,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
here I'm gonna dovetail that. Ever seen a thing on it where you're like, kind of want that? Be okay with that.
The Miley Cyrus toy.
You fucking pervert.
What is it, the Jackie O? The Jackie O or something, or like the
Which one's that one again?
It's one of
is
the
it-
newer seasons.
It's-
It's one of my. The
Is it
weaker
like a
It's not. It's
like an avatar?
It's kind of like an Alexa that like talks.
yes,
To you.
yes, yeah.
You can
Um,
jerk off to a voice.
It
Come on
was
now.
that. You know what? It's funny. That episode, I would say, was
You think I
probably
do when
one
you
of the
call me?
weakest.
It's definitely one of the
weakest
weaker ones.
ones.
I'm joking, by the way. That's
Yeah,
not the one
okay.
I probably want. Man, that's tough. I
Because like this is almost there, so
Well,
we got to start getting used
The
to
one
this
that
shit.
fucked me up the most. Like I will
I
always.
love that you brought the notebook for this.
I
You
wrote it. I
really-
wrote it
yeah.
down because I was
yeah.
like, it like, and it gave me legit nightmares in a psychological
I think
way.
I know which one you're gonna say, but keep
Go.
going.
White Bear gave
Oh.
me
What season? What?
So that I,
I
believe
hate that episode.
you do, eh?
I hate that. That's like one of my least favorites.
Really?
A lot of people's favorites, though.
Oh, I love that episode.
Season 2, I
It-
believe.
I think it's called White Bear, and why
It is White Bear, yeah.
Why again is the twist I thought was one of the most brilliant, and also like I just did not see it coming. I think it's series 2.
It's season 2.
Yeah,
it's
episode 2. Yeah.
It's basically a woman wakes up
With-
with no memory.
No memory
and
at all.
And everyone's just filming her randomly.
Yeah, so she wakes up in a room tied to a chair with no memory at all, but people are like observing her and
Yep.
filming
Filming
her with
her on
their
their
phones,
phones.
and no one will help her. She keeps yelling at them to help. No one will help her, and slowly these other characters that are in this house as well start assisting her and then the big reveal. Yeah. So they're like, we know how you can get out of this place. You got to get to this building. And when you get to this building, you'll get out.
This
And
is the game
it's
with
the
Michael
game.
Douglas.
It's the game,
Yeah.
but she's
It's an
deserving.
justice.
But it's
It's
but
also
it's a,
escape
Dude, the
room.
last
it's a
line,
sentence. It's a prison sentence.
The last line says Victoria was sent to the White Bear Justice
she
Park,
kidnapped a kid
where
and
her
murdered.
memory is wiped at the end of the day, so that the punishment and entertainment
Yes.
can begin afresh.
Dude, and the crime is like her and her husband or boyfriend stole a kid, abused
they
the kid,
said-
and
yeah.
tried to sell it
Yeah,
or
that's what it
something.
was.
So it's a warranted.
It's fucked.
It is a
Yeah.
warranted. But the big dude, you should see this episode. The end credits.
watching it tonight.
So the end.
Oh, you're catching up on this.
No. I just haven't watched them all. I'm like
Dude.
80% done, but there's
The-
one or two each season where I
Right.
may have gleamed
Skipped.
or
The
like-
end credits is so it's the end credits. It's like black credits, and then it cuts to back to the episode, and it's the people getting the orientation of how it works.
Right, I remember
And
that.
it's the actors in it that were trying to like help the girl, whatever. They're like, so you want to keep at least 5 feet away because we don't want you. We will have people around making sure you guys are safe, so don't worry. Please feel free to live stream. Take as many videos and photos. Get up to them. They're gonna scream at you for help. Just enjoy it. It's all part of the fun. And people are like, yeah. And there's kids there that are like, I can't wait, Mom.
Okay.
It's so fucked.
It's
fact
still
that
one of
it's-
my weaker episodes.
Really,
Yeah,
man,
I'm
it
so
kept me
sorry.
up. I never, because you know what it was? It was the ending. Because the way it works is she goes into the building where she's told she's going to be free. She gets knocked out, and then she wakes up, and she's tied to the same chair. And it's him explaining it to her why she's here, why, and they're showing the real crime footage. And her, in the interrogation, she's like,
You're
no,
blowing my fucking mind right now.
And then they zap her, and the episode ends where she wakes up, and it's like another day in this thing, and the actors are like, all right, get ready for your role. It reminded me working at the escape room.
Can I?
Like when you had to,
course.
like, you had those set scares, because they have that.
So do you want the White Bear Justice Park in society? Do you think that that's something that
I
could...
think that would be a more effective... Like, I would never want to take part of it. I don't think I'd ever be someone that's like, I want to go to the park and see the, like, fucking rapists. Like, I don't know if I'd do that. But I think it's a better use than of, like, the death penalty.
Sure.
I think it's a much better use than, like, the death penalty or
Hey,
literally,
if we can make a couple bucks on
I
this,
think
if it
I also-
bleeds, it leads.
I also think that is way more terrifying than, like, even solitary confinement. Like,
Right.
I think that's a worse punishment. So I actually am more for it than, like, death penalty. I think that's
Okay.
worse.
The idea of a zoo for criminals,
Yeah.
is very, like, it's very
It's
odd and
fucked,
interesting.
hey? Like, yeah.
Ian, anything
I-
you want to bring from the dystopian
I'm-
world of Black Mirror?
I'm peeking it and remembering like all the episodes I love. Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna burn through them really fast.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
Season 1, I've already said 15 Million Mirror. It's very good. Entire History of You is the one I thought you were gonna say.
That, yeah,
which
the
is
eye.
which the eye and the
eye
memory-
camera?
I
Where
thought
he's
that,
like, she's... Oh,
I thought
such
that's
a
And then
good
the
you
one
one.
get
were
to
gonna say.
see it?
I actually
Dude,
don't
and he was right. That's the big twist, is he was right the whole fucking time.
Talk
right.
about gaslighting.
I love the actor from Star Wars.
Oh,
redhead.
Brendan Gleeson's,
No,
like, son.
Is that his son?
Domhnall Hall Gleeson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
That's
Be,
his son.
Oh, with the rep.
Be Right Back.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah, sorry, he's the... Yeah, Kylo Ren and him have...
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's in Be Right Back.
Oh, Be Right Back was a
season
hard...
2. It's very heavy emotionally.
That's a hard ending one, too.
Yeah.
Well, it's what we all want.
Yeah, totally.
But it's also a huge, like, I just want to say, too, before the technology aspect, another big fear in that one is no one loves... A big fear is your partner saying, I'll be right back, and they die.
right.
Yeah.
Like, that
Not
alone...
having said I love you
it's
before they
Setting
die.
up the episode like that alone was already like, that's already a giant fear that some people
it's a
probably
great
have.
Set.
Right?
like
yeah.
name of an
Keep
episode.
going.
You know,
Yeah.
San Junipero is the one that,
Of course.
Thank you.
believe-
A
it-
masterpiece.
I
a
believe-
masterpiece. Won an
masterpiece.
Emmy, I believe, for
Yeah,
writing.
hour and a half long
Bawled
episode.
my eyes out like
right?
fucking
It's
whole
apparently
time.
an hour. Maybe.
I
It's only an hour. Apparently,
Really?
they're all
Can-
season 3.
But it's
it feels
beautiful.
long. It's so well.
You know what it reminds me of is Last of Us, like Frank and
Yeah.
Bill's
Yeah.
story. It's
Yes,
like it's like that.
totally.
having a place that you choose to go back to.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
where, for listener, if you haven't seen this, it's two kids growing up and they meet in the
a virtual world.
a virtual world, and you find out that these younger versions are of other people who are older in a care home, and they met. I'm getting all teary eyed right now. They met in the home,
Yeah.
but they couldn't
Playing these avatars.
playing these
essentially.
avatars essentially.
Yeah.
Which another episode, the Dueling Dragons one, with
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie,
Yeah.
That's a
But-
great one.
but
Very good. Yep.
playing themselves as avatars in a world where they could be lesbians, where they couldn't be lesbians in the real world at the time. And then it was, do they come back? Do
It's
they lead real lives? Oh God, it was so
Kind
heart-wrestling.
of like the show Upload.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but I
It's
hear
very
it's really
good.
Same
good. I hear
premise.
it's
Yeah,
great,
for
too.
sure.
Upload's not very good. Season 4 actually, I think. Is like it's funny. I actually can
the one-
pinpoint.
Bryce Dallas Howard, is that?
Season?
Oh,
That's actually
the-
season 3.
Oh,
That's
that is
season
season
three,
3.
yeah.
Okay.
I would say like each season has a very one or two standalone episodes. Around season 4 is where you get like one in like so. Season 4, USS Callister, the Star Trek spoof.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that
so
was
good,
great.
fantastic.
That was
Uh,
with
Kristen Dunst's-
Jesse Plemons or
Christina,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
Kristen
Christina
Dunst's
Mazzaroni.
husband.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Great episode.
Even the Star Trek moments are so well done too.
I think it's the thing where these Black Mirror is so dark sometimes that there's these little lighter episodes that
Yeah.
balance out. So Hang the DJ is another very good one.
Yes.
That's like
oh,
it's
is
about
that the VR?
the VR dating thing?
Dude, I wrote that one down. That
Very
one.
good.
Oh no, I'm talking about the VR one where the guy tests out the new VR.
Oh, I like that one. That's season 3.
that one fucked me up,
Playtest.
too.
Dan
Playtest.
Trachtenberg, who directed Prey.
yes, yeah.
And
That one.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
That one fucked me up. That one gave me because as a video game guy too,
Oh,
I was like,
Okay,
And season 5, I don't remember a lot except for the Anthony Mackie one where he
Dueling Dragons.
he fucks.
oh, and
Falls in
that
love with
one,
his buddy through a
that
video
one also
game.
has another one of my favorites, and it's very different. The black and white one where they're running away from that like dog
Metalhead.
robot.
Metalhead Conan.
yeah.
That's
I really
the one with Russell's kid, Dwight. Dwayne.
No.
Dwight?
No.
That's
Russell
the
Wright is the
playtest.
VR one.
That's
the
Wade
VR
Russell.
one. Yeah.
Wade Russell.
playtest. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the playtest.
That's the one where it doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
The video game becomes reality.
Yeah.
And then he
then he-
ends where he finds out he died during.
Yes.
the
He
test.
died.
Yeah.
His mom called him
His
during
mom
it, and it
called-
seizured the
And
fucking
his
thing.
last words are called mom.
Call mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That one fucked me up.
That ending fucked me
Also,
up.
because the VR game is horrifying.
Yeah.
Like when they show you the VR
spider?
game, I was also like, I would never
No.
play this.
There's a spider that comes out, and it always made me think of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Because that spider that you remember, like the first level,
Yeah.
the spiders that pop out,
And there's that last big
still
one.
fucking scares
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
It's a
It just would
huge
drop,
giant
and
Yeah.
they do that in that fucking
Yeah.
episode, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I hate that. It still creeps me out when I think about that spider, and
Oh.
it turns back and forth.
I really was like when I got into what was it season
The Christmas special's fantastic.
season
by the way.
2.
Yeah, Don Draper.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what let me pull the yarn. I don't know if that technology is good or not. Listener, if you haven't seen it, basically White Christmas is a dude committed a crime and he's in a simulation of a cabin. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Interesting that both are like White Bear, White Christmas kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening
Yes.
is
He's talking to he's at the cabin with John Hamm. And
he's at the
like,
cabin with John Hamm.
Yeah.
And
He's just
John
telling
Hamm's
him.
trying to interrogate him.
Interrogate him, yeah.
And what you find out is that Hamm is going into the world
Yes.
and doing his own thing,
Yeah.
which becomes a problem
Yeah.
for his wife,
Yeah.
who then blanks him out of her life.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch.
And that's
this
the
one, 'cause I
ending
don't
is
So
remember
when
it.
she
He's
looks
blocked.
at him,
Yeah.
you're
You're blurred.
It's the idea of blocking somebody or
Yeah.
Right.
ghosting somebody.
That's
Yeah.
so
And how
fucked.
they show up in your vision is they're just a blob.
They're just like pixels.
They're a
I have
blob.
to
Yeah,
rewatch
and
this
there's no
episode.
And you
noise.
can't hear anything.
and
yeah.
you have the choice to unmute them,
Yeah.
right? Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if think about it. Past traumas, people who've gone through experiences that they don't ever want to have to see again. Say that
didn't even
person is
think of
out in
that.
their world.
Wow.
Turn it off, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're not exposed to it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're turning off things that probably will change who you are as a person and your character. And to not, I think it would be a great idea to have once you're over your shit, because you
Yeah.
don't want to be reminded by it. But I don't think it'd be a good idea to be like, block, and then, because you're just burying shit, right?
Right.
But it's John Hamm and Rafe Spall. I love
Yeah.
Rafe Spall.
Yeah, he's
I didn't like him in Jurassic Park,
he's in
but I
Hot
do
Fuzz.
like. Yes,
I
Yes.
really have to rewatch that one because that one is such. I watched it. I just don't remember it. That
Yeah,
well,
but
that-
it's such a slow burn.
That
where you're
one was
like-
big too because he didn't have a few seasons for a while, and then he just came
That
out
was a
with that
special.
random
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Is it
Oh, John
happening?"
Hamm.
And then I think the Netflix thing then went through.
Yeah.
After
Yes,
that,
the
that's
5.
with the
yeah.
yeah.
The one with what's his face from Game of Thrones, where
Sean Bean.
No,
no,
not
no,
Sean
no.
Bean.
It's that's the one I want to talk about. Shut up and dance.
Shut up and dance.
The kid starts with the kid
Oh,
jerking
yeah,
off,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's
So you know what's funny?
Steamrolls.
I used to see people that would tape their cameras on their laptops and stuff,
You'd
and
be
I
like,
was always
why?
like,
Why?
Yeah, yeah.
"That's over much." I saw that episode. Guess what? All my cameras are taped.
That's
I'm
what-
just like, fuck, because I learned that's a real thing. People can actually
They can
hack
hot mic
into
and hot
on
camera you.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's
Fuck
transmitting.
that shit.
Why do if you can Bluetooth your image of a video from your phone, you can
Right.
hack the signal.
Right.
Right.
And I never thought of it like that. And then
No.
when I read into it, I was like, well,
Who's thinking
fuck
of that when
this.
they're jerking off to grandmas online?
But
I
the
mean,
most
you're not-
addictive thing about it is he makes this kid, and then the guy from Game of Thrones gets thrown in it. He makes them do the craziest shit, and then the big fucking twist. Spoiler, sorry, listener. He fucks them over anyways.
Exactly.
They do everything he told them to. I think they kill someone.
That's about trolling.
and
people.
then it just still gets released,
Yeah.
and it ends with the kid getting calls from his mom. Everyone, because they all got the video. 'Cause
Exactly.
He sent it to all of
he
them.
killed the
anyways.
guy at the end of the
Yeah,
episode.
he kills him at
and
the end
then-
anyways.
And then the video.
And then he just the drone.
It's funny.
The drone films everything,
I
yeah.
actually feel like that's one of the weaker ones for me. But do you guys have hated or not hated? I truly think there's.
Turn your mic a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I truly think there's more bad than good episodes, or okay versus good.
It does average 60-40.
Yeah, 60-40
There's
is
some
probably about
filler,
right.
but
yeah.
even the filler. Like,
Fillers
what about
are
the
fine.
one with the baby cam?
The baby cam, the Archangel. The
Archangel,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I hate that one.
Yeah.
That's like also
Really?
Jodie Foster directed. I hate that one.
You didn't like that one,
I
eh?
think it's one of the worst ones.
Oh, Christina Milioti she makes the little version of herself.
That's the
That's USS
That's why
Cowell.
US. Yes,
That's
Yeah.
the because
sorry, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
very good. That's
that's
a,
a
good
great
one.
one.
Yeah.
I
the
separate-
B one was okay.
The B one's not very.
The B one's
good.
okay.
What's
yeah.
the B one?
It's
Oh,
they use the bees, robotic bees.
Yeah, so you know how
to-
bees are dying. They decide that they
I thought they
make,
just weren't real.
they make they make robot
Like
bees
birds.
that are
The bee
programmed.
movie.
Yeah, like they literally make little. They look like little transformers, and they just
right.
pollinate. But then they find out that they're responsible for like 2
they're
murders.
assassing.
Yeah,
people.
they're
It's
killing
very.
people
They're killing
Yeah.
people with bees.
slowly, and they're like,
Slowly.
yeah, but it's targeted. Like
Yeah.
it's specifically.
It's kind of
targeted.
similar to that what if episode
Yeah,
with Ant-Man or
it
like
is.
the original.
Yeah, because they're programmed.
Multiple-
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It kind of is.
all
yeah.
the Avengers are dying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's one of those
The ones-
unicorn shows.
He does.
Yeah, agreed.
Once he does with couples, I find, especially being in a like relationship and stuff too, those ones will hit
Humble
home
brag.
because, well, I'm sure you can relate to. Like, it just sometimes those fuck me up more than the big like dystopian ones because
Yes.
it's like, oh,
Well, it's the,
what would
it's-
I do? in
it's
that
the
scenario?
technology.
Like the eye thing, I would
I
never
can't
get it.
relate. No I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's feeling a little third wheel here, Charles. Way to go.
Sorry.
I'm
There
kidding.
you
I'm kidding.
Is there an episode we could do for Black Mirror based on this?
Hang the DJ.
Hang the,
Oh yeah,
It's about dating.
that's a really. I like that episode.
That's
I
a very
really like
again.
It.
It's so easy to watch.
Yeah, and it's again, and I feel like it's all about the writing and the
Also,
acting more than anything.
You know, I love the title. You know why it's called "Hang the DJ"? It's from like the song.
yeah,
It's Smith,
yeah.
the Smith song, "Hang the DJ."
You know what? We mentioned Bryce, but the nosedive episode where every time you have to interact with somebody,
That feels the
and
most real.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
social credit system in China. That's your social status.
That's even now. Like I got verified on
I know you
Instagram and TikTok. Just saying it out loud, not humble bragging, but very big
Humble
he
deal.
doesn't have a
Humble brag.
relationship,
Very-
but he's
I'm not.
on TikTok.
But he's verified. I'm not verified.
I'm not.
I'm not
I'm
verified.
not
My relationship's
dating.
not verified.
You know, I own a house, have a car, but verified. You know,
Ladies,
anyway.
he's single.
Yeah, seriously.
But
Lincoln Bio. You can follow Ian Bio.
honestly, I forgot what I was going with. Anyways, no. But
Okay,
it does,
mission accomplished.
But it does feel like there is like I got on Raya, which is like celebrity Tinder essentially.
Yeah.
Because I was verified.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can
I
only
have
use it
right.
if you're verified.
Well, no, it's like if you're worthy enough, like you have to
Gotcha.
get
It's based on a
recommended.
social
Gotcha.
credit score.
I never knew. I just never.
Essentially,
I
yeah.
never
Yeah.
knew that. I
No,
Like,
you're-
I was always fascinated how
know what?
celebrities were able to go on.
I'm
That-
attractive and cool enough and important enough. That's literally what it is.
Dude, we
That's
would have told you
hilarious.
that. You didn't need.
I needed the.
Okay, I get
I
it.
needed
It's Raya.
Raya. I needed Raya to tell me.
Raya's your hang the DJ.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So
Man, that is so fucking.
So basically,
Too
but
close.
that's what I was saying. Nosedives, I think, is one of the closest ones to our civilization. Also, the episode with the politician that's a puppet.
Waldo.
Yeah,
Waldo.
that one
Yeah.
I don't like that much, but like that
But
one I
it's-
think is very close.
But you
to
know
us.
what's funny? That's Trump.
That's
That's
cult-
what happened
cult
with Trump.
following,
That
right?
is
Trump was Waldo.
Yeah, you're
Cult
And
right.
then
belief.
enough people believed in the idiot,
Fuck,
and
yeah.
the idiot got voted.
You're right.
Cult of
Because
belief,
now
man.
Yeah.
I rewatched it last night, and I didn't even finish it because I looked at Claudia. I'm like,
I
"This
can't do
fucking
this,
happened. I
yeah.
can't watch this.
Yeah,
This happened."
it's hard when it hits.
Yeah,
too
when
close to home.
it's something that happened, you're like, I can't watch.
Well, I was
this.
like, remember in Contagion, people started watching it
right
when,
at the beginning of
COVID?
the COVID, and you're
Yeah,
like,
and it was like it's too close to home.
yeah, especially when people were like,
That's
it's
hive mind.
bats. So I was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
I know. I watched Contagion, 12 Monkeys,
It
and
didn't
something else in
fucking
one go.
Yeah.
age well at all.
Yeah.
Which,
but Contagion. But no, with Nosedive too, it's happening because, and I never thought I'd say this, but I saw a commercial for the Dr. Phil episode a few years ago, and I mean, I know a lot of that shit's trumped up, right? But still, the fact that this kid had the gall to say, "I don't talk to my mom or my sister because they have no followers."
what?
In the-
I never saw that.
In the era
That's
of
fucked.
if you look at 20 and down right now, today, let's look at 20 years old and down. Their entire world is seen through a device.
Yeah.
Their entire everything they share is shared through a device. We are of both. We can mingle. We can put our phones down.
Yeah, we know what the world was like before.
But to the kids, right? So their reality is nosedive because if they get busted on social media doing something, they get trashed publicly. It's the town square mentality.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what this is. And they think, oh, if everybody can interact with each other, it's a great idea. Fuck no, it's not. We don't need to be sharing that much with each other.
No.
Look what fucking Facebook did.
Yeah.
So you're totally right, Ian. Like,
I still
it's
have
the
people-
now. It might
Yeah.
not be our now, but it's somebody's now.
Yeah.
Because that's the Bryce style. That's the one where it's all based
Yeah.
on your likes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And
And
she
she-
gets turned away because they're giving her less
Yeah.
likes.
Yeah, but everything is filmed,
Yes.
right? So your
So even when she's
interactions
getting upset, they're like, you didn't
She
take that
doesn't
well.
have enough credits to like get like
to a
start her
party
car.
or something.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
she keeps
She's trying to charge her
and
car.
then she's like, overkilling with kindness, and then that's rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Fake.
They're like, you
trying
said that
too
already.
hard.
Well,
We got it.
We were kind of talking about that earlier about like sincerity on posting things, like
Right.
versus
Yeah.
Right.
posting it for the sheer of posting.
Yeah, what is the obligation post, and what is the actual like? This is a
yeah,
legit
this is legit.
post.
And
Like
Yeah.
this was reasonable.
doing
Yeah.
this,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
think that's truly like you were being nice, Charles. It was like you have good TikTok, and I think part of it is like I do it for me. But I don't think it's like far fetched of who I
You're a
am.
filmmaker,
No,
though. So
for
playing with a
sure.
camera
I-
and
I'm-
short video.
And maybe it's
being
because I
sincere.
know you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when I see it, I'm like, yeah, this is. And
Yeah.
but it's actually like,
Especially if you meet
Do you know
me,
why?
think
I
it's
also
sincere.
hate to
Because
say to
she's
you
the
instead-
star of the show. You're not the star of the show. You're in a lot of it. You're interacting with
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
but you.
But
do
it's a day
not-
in your life, and
you're
I
not
like it.
like hot dude with a dog.
Right.
You're like,
Right.
look at my
Right.
dog.
Right.
I might be hot.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it-
Yeah,
so-
you're not
right.
like, you're not a day in my life, and it's like, yeah, I wake up, beach. Yeah, I sit in my pool, beach. I'm ripped.
But see, even
right?
that would be
You're
like a character at that
yeah,
point.
but
you know?
and if you were doing it to make
If you're
like that would be
parodying
it,
funny,
sure,
right?
yeah.
But I'm saying those are the real top videos.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
And that's why when I look, like when I see,
There's no sincerity
what are
in
the top,
swiping.
What are
Yep.
the top influencers and whatnot? And I see the shit. I'm like,
I know.
it makes me want to kill myself. And then I'm like,
hurts.
then I see real creators, and I'm like, okay,
Again.
there's hope. There is hope.
But,
like
but
this is what I
that's
want to
happening
see.
now because those people are on the same dating app that Ian's on.
Right.
That
Right.
we don't need to see, but you know,
I have to make one quick mention though, because I might have been one of the few. I really enjoyed it. I think the experiment worked. I liked Bandersnatch. I thought
didn't-
Bandersnatch was great.
I never tried
I
it.
really
I'm
thought
glad
it was
you brought
awesome.
it. I forgot,
I thought
to
it was
be honest.
awesome.
It was a choose your own
Mike,
adventure,
do
right?
it and do all the options. It takes maybe 2 hours to
2
do
hours.
everything.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's
that's
about a
fine.
2 hour.
It was, and one of them
Yeah.
is like, it literally, one of them is Charlie having, it's the, like, the part of the movie where it's like, make a death round. And you're
Yeah,
like, and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
literally, as soon as it starts, it's just insanity.
I kept,
and it's great.
I
It's great.
kept ending the thing, like it kept ending for me every 5 minutes because like I kept choosing the wrong.
Yeah,
things.
right. Because there is one that it's like 5 minutes long.
And like
Yeah.
I did that like multiple times. It was
Yeah.
like I was like, fuck, I
think
just want to
there's-
get through this fucking show.
It's 5, 15, 30, and then
I had to-
an hour.
I-
Like if
yeah.
you choose like
I had-
and then it's 2 hours over.
oh 2 hours
the
to do all of them.
I
Yeah.
found the
Yeah.
hack where I just read it because
You
I was
found
like,
the hack?
oh, God, I just
broke
couldn't.
the algorithm.
You know what?
It-
Me
at
and
the
Claudia
time-
did it on New Year's Day hungover. So it was
That's-
one of those things that we're
that's a
like,
good thing.
we had all the motivation and time to do it all.
I got the energy for a click.
Well, and it's like a video game. It knows.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you get to the end, it's like you did this one and this one. Do these. ones.
The issue
Oh, you
was
get
at the
points
So you're not
time.
resetting.
is there a high score? Can you?
I don't know, but they don't.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But like, I think
You
at the
completed
time,
this in record time.
I couldn't use my TV to watch it, so I think I did it on my laptop, and that's why I was like, I just got to get through this
Yeah,
to say I
yeah,
watched it.
yeah.
But it was a very cool
It
experiment.
was cool. I think it
it's
worked
fun.
for Black Mirror. I
Yeah.
think it worked.
It's
I think it really was cool.
Though I would have taken off like because I heard it took a couple months to make.
Yes. Yeah.
I would have taken a full season, like a 3-episode season over that. So
I agree.
And-
yeah,
and
I
I-
agree. Because
and
that filled in instead of a new season.
Exactly.
It was like the Christmas special. It
Exactly.
was like, here's your Black Mirror for the next 3 years.
my
Essentially, yeah.
yeah.
my big thing with like Black Mirror, I think these days is like I think he's stronger when he does a 3-episode season versus like 5 to 6
Yes.
episodes.
yeah, he's really
I
packing
agree.
up. He's punching
I
harder
think he
with
goes
3
too
instead
hard.
of 6.
And like
Yep.
we said, like the 60-40 ratio gets lower.
It does because he's
You know?
like
They're
if-
not all great. They're
if-
okay.
Well, and,
They're
maybe, and,
watchable.
and that's the thing is, I'm curious. Like, is that him being like, I have 5 great ideas, or is that Netflix being like, hey, you know, if you could do
I
one more?
I think
Or-
it's both.
I
Mixed
think so
bag,
too.
yeah.
I think so.
or
too.
why not do one a month when we know for 4 months it's coming?
Why? Yeah.
Because then
That's
I feel
actually not
I
a
feel if-
horrible. That's not a bad idea.
like Stephen King did Tommy Knockers and released the books every month for 4 months.
Yeah, that's right.
So each
that's
month
right.
you got a new section of the
Yeah.
book. Not Tommy Knockers, sorry, Green Mile.
Green Mile.
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Green Mile's
Green
been released.
Tommy, but like,
Yeah.
so I think a hard limited release of like the 15th of every month,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
new ones coming.
Yep.
That way he could make bigger.
Yep.
Take more time,
Well,
and then we still get what we want, but we get it every 4 weeks.
A month release
And even
is
like
great.
what Stranger Things did that. They had
They
part
really
one,
held, yeah.
Part one,
made
part
you wait a
two.
month. Part 2, but I mean, they could literally be like 3 episodes over 3 months. I'd be into it.
I don't
Sure.
know if either of you watched the Fear Street series.
Yeah.
On
It was awesome.
It was amazing,
was
and
great.
I don't know if you like know the original plan. COVID kind of ruined it. Was they were
Theaters,
gonna,
right?
It was supposed to be
I
theaters.
heard about
so to be
that.
released like October, and then wait 2 months or I think
Oh,
a month.
cool.
Then November part 2, then December part 3, something like that. They did it on Netflix.
Yeah, you
instead,
gotta
where
get
they
into-
released
you
it.
get
I'm kind of
creative.
happy they did it I think the way it ended up working out was better.
I agree. I hope they
because-
continue it.
I agree
yeah.
and it was nice though, like because Claudia and I read a review on IGN at another place and they praised it and I was like, okay, I gotta give this a chance.
A lot of needle drops.
As soon as the first one was done, it was like cool, and they're smart. They do it Back to the Future.
Yeah,
they're like, here's what's coming in part 2, and you can't help but be like, and it's streaming right now.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
come on,
Carry on.
right? Like, yeah,
I'm still watching.
and they
Netflix.
use the same cast throughout. Like,
Yeah,
because
and they have-
because it's
jump-
80,
it jumps
90
period,
and
right,
something, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
cool. It's like American Horror Story.
it's very yes.
Ooh.
like, yeah, it does
Stranger Things,
yeah.
American Horror Story. It's
Yeah.
a
Sure, I'm
combination
game.
So they
of a few
took
things.
R.L. Stein and instead of being like, hey, instead of for grade 6, grade 7, like junior high, do your Stephen King moment.
Yeah.
What would you do for adults? And it's dark.
Yep.
It's good.
They have
Okay.
some good stuff.
I'm
in
gonna
Some
there.
give it
good
a shot.
deaths, really good deaths.
The final one's a little iffy, but
The
part
first,
two,
yeah,
part
yeah.
two's very
The one at
good.
the mall, whatever it is, like whichever one is
That was
the,
one.
Give me a
Yeah,
mall in the
yeah.
80s, baby.
Oh,
Two-
they
two
do.
is my favorite. It's Camp. They're at,
Oh, the camp's the best one.
Camp's the best.
Oh,
one.
That is-
camp, a mall.
yeah.
And it's the girl
So-
from
What's the other one? A
Stranger Things.
cemetery?
It's hard to explain.
Actually,
Sadie
it's-
Sink?
Well,
it's got
it goes into
Sadie
which
Sink?
Yeah.
it goes into the Salem.
Yeah.
Let's say it goes into
It's a
Salem.
Salem
Okay, so
thing.
yeah, I can see.
And you know what
we're
it does? And honestly, to me, it's funny. It really follows the Back to the Future formula. The
Yeah.
first one is a cool story, kind of in
100%.
present day, and then the second one does your classic '80s, let's go camp, and then your third one goes all the way back, and it's like,
Oh, so we're in the Wild West with
yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Biff
think it-
getting
yeah. And but their
newer
version of the
throne.
Wild West is the Salem witch trial.
And
So
again-
it's that
okay,
era.
sure,
Yeah,
I'm in.
but it's all for a reason. Like they don't just drop you in that timepiece because they're like,
Charles.
Doc got struck by lightning
Yeah.
Charles,
again.
Charles,
I hate manure. Sorry.
Charles, it's
Yeah.
all for a reason.
It's always it's all for a reason.
Manure.
Speaking of reasons, I need a reason to go eat. So
Yeah,
I figure
let's
right
all
now
do
is-
that.
Yeah, I wasn't hungry
Hoobastank.
earlier,
Remember
now.
Hoobastank? The reason?
Oh, do not sing that
The
out of tune
reason
song to me.
I'm not a
Person.
person.
I didn't sing it.
Yeah,
I'm just-
that's fine.
That's the only line I
Um,
know. And
yeah.
the music video is ridiculous.
Shauna made chili, and I'm hungry, so I'm
Let's
gonna
go get
eat.
some chili.
Let's go get some chili. Thanks for listening to another week, listener. There are things that you can know about by following us, what we do in the future, what we do in the now. Watch us online. It's the whole social media shameless pitch point of the show. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Real Debaters Facebook. We own Facebook. Real Debaters Podcast on Facebook, spelling REEL, and The Real Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Now, here's a cool thing. There's a link in our bio. In that link, there's a bunch of other links. Ian Bawa and Diamond on TikTok that we've been talking about. You can follow that there, and you can even get his RIA credit score up higher by more follows on TikTok.
It's Rhea, but okay.
Sorry, Rhea. My mispronunciation.
We clearly are not on right
Rhea
Or
is
sponsored
someone.
by.
Rhea is someone that's on Rhea.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I get that. But you can follow Ian and Diamond doing their shenanigans, which is great because can we talk about the thing with Diamond, or is that quiet?
Diamond is getting her own TV show.
Yes, she is.
It will be a web show where we travel around Canada finding other people with animals that help them get through trauma.
Yeah, support animals, right?
That's
so
as much
cool.
as I can probably say for now. It's like, yes, it's likely going. It's just a lot of
Speaking
slow
of,
carry.
look who came in the room.
Oh, she probably heard
She
me to be
knows.
saying her
Knows
name.
her
Yeah,
name.
Yeah, because
Hey, beautiful.
if you're
You're a
listening, listener,
superstar.
still, Diamond is the unofficial official mascot of the show, but this is the Diamond that gets to come over and sit
That's
in the studio. while
right.
we-
The quietest
We
dog.
get
The
It's-
quietest, loveliest fucking
Oh,
dog.
she is just a best sweet. Hi, sweetie.
Sleeping with her is
Oh, I
magical.
love
She
you.
just she cuddles up. She puts weight on you like a
I
human
know.
does.
She's truly like a what's it called, body pillow.
Yeah.
Like
oh,
she'll-
totally.
She's just like
Between me and Shauna, those few
She's
days.
just like
she-
Cookie.
yeah.
Oh, Cookie gets like right up
I
on
love
you.
it.
Get me in there.
I
But
love it.
you can watch this animal instead of hearing us talk about her on that link. And then Charles's nerdgasm.
That's
What's
right.
What's the nerdgasm? What's the last nerdgasm thing you did?
So I just uploaded my playthrough of Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
The latest
It's
Star Wars
funny,
game
too.
on PlayStation 5. I'm working on my nerdies, which is going to be a little bit different because it's so late this year.
Oh, whatever.
But I'm giving my worst and best of 2022.
You were in school learning how to do
yeah.
things in a different way.
Things got a little bit delayed.
so
yeah.
things
yeah.
get delayed. Life
Yeah.
happens.
Can we have
man.
a tease? What is like one of the worst?
Yeah.
What is one of the best?
So I'm conflicted right now. I hate. Last year I did a 2-movie winner. I did a Ghostbusters Afterlife and No Way Home.
Okay.
I was really this year I'm torn
Wow.
too. This year it's between Everything Everywhere and Batman, and
Wow.
I
Yeah.
might just be a sucker and give it to both of them because
These
I
are-
loved both.
Yeah,
These
there's
are
no-
very
um,
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
those-
best
I approve
scene.
on all these.
Best scene is one of my favorite categories. So like, because sometimes the movie can suck, but I'm
Yeah.
like willing to give recognition for a good scene.
Yeah.
Penis fingers.
Yeah, that's one of them.
plugs, yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
that's
easily
one of the
gotta be one.
scenes.
Butt plug
Did
fight
you
scene.
see that?
No, there's really good picks. Like I got like here, let me quickly give you like it's best villain, worst villain, best hero, worst hero.
Speaking of the microphones to the listeners.
Oh, sorry, best scene.
2022.
Yeah, best and worst of 2022. So just to give you guys some nominees for best movie, I have Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Yep.
Top Gun,
Yep.
Barbarian,
Yep.
Yep.
Weird
On my
Al,
list.
Yep.
Yep.
Nope,
Uh,
X,
Yep. Nope.
and
Yep.
Prey.
X. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prey, yeah.
So those are my best
these
picture
are
nominees.
these are all. I think you nailed like at least like 4 of them that were on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always like to, and I think with mine too, like I know Weird Al's is
Weird
usually
Al's-
a random one.
Weird
I
Al's-
loved it.
I get it.
I love it.
I get
He's
it.
a
It's
parody
not
of a
mine.
parody.
He's a childhood hero. I got to see him last year too at the Burt, and then the movie came out, so
Yeah.
it's all like it's
It's
all
a
of
fun
that.
Movie.
It's in you. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what? It was hard to watch with the commercials on Roku. So
Oh, see, I downloaded it, so
Oh,
I
smart
just
man.
yeah.
Fucking skip that shit. Where
Yeah.
can they find you?
So you guys can find me on YouTube. Honestly, if you just type in CF Bomb, all one word, I'm the first thing that comes up.
Bob-omb.
yeah,
And that's literally where it
Sex
is.
Bob-omb.
Instagram, TikTok. Man, no, let's not say TikTok. Let's just say
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, CF Bomb. You will find me. The Nerdgasm is my little, I don't know. It's my love child to
Yeah.
all pulp culture and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got gameplay videos, movie reviews, and sometimes just rants.
Movies,
Like,
games, rants, pop culture.
like I'm actually, it's funny we did this, but I was going to do a Guardians 3 review, but I was like, we kind of did that here. So what I'm doing instead is I'm doing what does Guardians mean for the future of the MCU?
nice. Perfect.
Because I think that
You're a
should
new
be
rock star.
the
I
new
put you in the same
standard.
category as them.
Well, and I think Guardians should be the new, like, it made me feel like Marvel's back on track.
It
again.
deserves to be a hood ornament.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
And
What
yeah.
does this film mean?
And like
Yeah.
again, like I was even thinking, I'm like, you know what? Instead of introducing, like, they got to stop getting rid of origin stories for everybody. And if they want to do it, take advantage of Disney Plus special presentation. Here's a look at your new X-Men. You want to know about all of them, and then
Yeah.
when you see them in the movie,
Yeah.
you don't need to know why they're
For
there.
the casual
They
watcher,
gotta-
that
And
would
if
really
you
help.
do, Disney Plus, and then it's cross marketing, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Everybody wins. Like, my God,
all
it's
these
so easy.
all these brilliant ideas of Charles's can be watched at the link in our bio. That's the point, is that if you want to go to each of them, go ahead. But you go to the link in our bio at the Real Debaters Podcast Instagram, Real Debaters Pod, at it. Hit that link in the bio and then follow everybody. And then you're in the Debaterverse.
And then we all win.
We all win, right? And that's the free and easy way to support the show. If this is your first time and you like what you heard, we're not one of those Patreon people, but we do have a buy us a coffee if you want to throw us some bucks. It's also at the link in our bio. We got a YouTube channel. It's all there. Link in our bio at Real Debaters Pod, Twitter and Instagram, the Real Debaters Podcast on Facebook. We also have a brand new merch stand that has hats
and it's beautiful.
and backpacks
Ooh,
and
I
socks
didn't know about backpacks.
Yeah.
and leggings and sweatsuits.
Leggings.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like and it's from Canada, guys. Like,
Right.
it's Canadian. They ship from Toronto, so it's not like you're ordering a
Beautiful.
T-shirt across the border and then having to pay.
Yeah, and you don't
duty
have
on
to
that.
feel bad wearing it.
You don't have to feel bad wearing it. That
Feel good wearing
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But like, it's cheap. Like I think it's
I
$4.
feel bad.
It's $4. It's $4 to ship a $25 T-shirt.
Oh,
so if you want to
so
wear
fun.
us, we've it's taken 3 years to find a proper online merch stand that didn't get bought by somebody else, that didn't change their freight.
God damn
like,
you, Amazon.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I mean, we would love it if you just
Bezos?
subscribed, but if you wanted to pay for stuff, you can donate, you can shop, you can do all that shit. And shameless self-promotion segment of the show over.
Money, money, money.
Money. Goes a long way, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, production costs, if you
Toy
want to make
Story,
us sound
love it.
better or learn a thing or
So
two
good.
and you want to throw money at us, we will put that back into producing this. This isn't like give me money and then I'm going to go, get a porn membership or something. I don't know.
I mean, who knows? If we get enough people, we'll do an OnlyFans.
I'll do an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm fed up. Anyways, I've been Michael Petrow.
I'm Ian Bawa.
I'm Charles Fernandes.
And watch all the movies, kids. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.